Well, the umpires are coming out and play is going to resume. Ben Stokes on 99 not out. He just couldn't. He just had a little bit of a fiddle at the last ball before lunch, but it spun quite sharply from Chase. There's a bit of rough out there, I think, outside Stokes' off stump, and it did spin. So he'll resume on 99 not out. I don't think he's very nervous, is he, Alistair? He doesn't strike me as being a very nervous sort of fellow, Ben Stokes.
I think he wants to get his 100 though, so I think
Yes.
he will be a little bit nervous actually.
Cool.
I think that would have been quite a long 40 minutes for him.
You ever done that? 99 not out over a break?
I was trying to think, I wonder whether I was 99 not out at Brisbane in that second innings.
Oh, right. 2010.
2010. I wonder if that was...
I know a man who'll look that up. He's feverishly looking at his... pinging over the keyboard there behind us.
I was definitely within one scoring shot.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because I think I hit a 4 of Peter... I'm going to say Peter Siddle, but it could have been Ben Hilfer in the first over after tea on day 4.
Right.
So, but again, my memory's terrible.
Didn't spoil your tea.
I don't really eat much. Yeah, I never really ate much when I was batting during lunch or tea, or the odd banana. Just couldn't get it down me, so didn't do much. I just sat there.
My wife's new horse eats a lot of bananas.
Pardon?
Yeah, including the skin. Very strange. Do horses often eat bananas?
Well, I never tried actually.
Well,
I never tried.
he gobbles them up, and he says you give them the sort of soft bit inside first,
All right.
and then eats the skin afterwards.
A new horse, is that?
Oh, well.
Are we going to talk about that, Angus?
No, I don't think we should. No. Anyway,
You don't look particularly happy.
well, he came from Holland. He was stuck in Grimsby for about... I mean, his lockdown, I think, was necessarily a
horse.
cheerful experience. He was in Grimsby for about 4 months. But he's released now, and he's come home. 264 for 3, we're about to go. And we've got Roach coming from the far end, bowls to Sibley. Oh, that's an interesting start. Squared him right up, and then got a thick outside edge. Almost gave a leading edge catch there to the man at mid-off. Sibley, 101.
Name for the horse?
Well, his name came with him. He's known as Hero.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, he's a handsome chap. I'm not sure she's ridden him yet, but anyway.
Would you get on him?
No.
Have you?
No, I've sort of semi-retired really from riding. It was fun. I enjoyed doing it. Here's Roach, rocking his shoulders, bowls to Sibley, just comes back a little bit, and that's another scruffy stop really from Darragh. He's having a difficult game behind the stumps. Presumably you ride a farmer's
Very, very occasionally.
life. Yeah.
Our young daughters ride, so
Oh, nice.
they found it very funny when I got on Toby the other day.
Right.
In lockdown.
What is Toby? Some old cob or something?
No, he's a big old thing.
Yeah. All right. So you did get on.
Yeah, no, I rode round. Isabel, who's 3 and Elsie, who's 6, found it hilarious that Daddy could get on the horse.
Okay. There's Roach, and that's pushed towards mid-off, but goes to mid-on. It's all typical Sibley, really. That goes in that direction.
But it was very much Toby did what he wanted, and
Oh, yeah.
I just wandered around. And when he trotted because he wanted to trot.
I will say and I came to it obviously very late because of the Olympics.
Is that why you started? Is that why
Yeah.
you started? Do you have lessons?
Yes. Yes, I did. I thought if I'm going to commentate on this, I'm going to have to learn how to do it.
Jobbers, everything?
Oh, yeah. Well, then I switched. Then comes Roach, bowls down the leg side, little flick again from Sibley, but no contact made.
I'm not sure that you and Joppers would be a
Well, no,
pretty sight.
that was a brief experience because I then switched to Western style.
Okay.
And I turned
Why?
up for my first lesson in Jodhpurs for that, and the fella said, cowboys ride in jeans, and looked at me very dismissively. The only trouble with riding the jeans is that the chafing was a bit of an issue, so I found a stretchy pair in the end. Here's Roach in the bowls, so he pushes away out to mid-wicket, and there's no run. It's much easier though. Western style's much easier. There's one hand and just off you go.
Oh, well, we went on honeymoon, Alice and I, to Argentina for our,
Yes.
and a lot of horse riding there. And there wasn't much English spoken for the gauchos, and had a horse. I can't remember his name now. Really, the easiest thing ever to ride. And then eventually, I was like, I'll have something a bit more confident, a bit more lively, and off we went. This gaucho just took off. And I took the fetal position on the horse.
Oh, crikey. Here's Roach then, bowls. Oh, it's appeal for leg before wicket. And it's been given not out. And Roach is disappointed about that, but then with his head suggests that might have gone down the leg side. That I don't think they're going to review this. Holders standing there impassively, the counter ticking away. And no, they're not going to bother. 264 for 3.
Yes, off he went. My horse just legged it, and I just hung on. Alice was laughing hysterically behind us, and he tried to explain to the gaucher that my riding wasn't that good and inexperienced, and he just said, "Chin up, relax," and off he went again. And all there was, and then by the end of the week, it was easy.
You're away.
I was away, one-handed.
It's a lovely thing to do, yeah. Now, Ben Stokes. Let's see if we can sort this out, shall we? He's taking guard again. Roston Chase is going to bowl to him. And they're putting a man back at long off. Stokes is on 99. There's a slip. 4 in the leg side. And then I fancy a little push and run there into the offside. We'll see. There's a man at short cover. Roach is at extra cover. Stokes over his bat. And Chase, the off-spinner, moves him round the wicket and he bowls to him and he lets that go spinning past outside his off stump. There's a little bit of rough there now by the look of it. It always makes it a little more tricky for the left-hander.
It's probably in outfield. Everyone who's on that thing was very, very tight.
Yeah. Chase again, parts his hands, moves in, bowls. Oh, that's just short of a length. Thought he might have turned that. He's pushed it into the leg side maybe, but he plays it straight back to the bowler. 264 for 3.
Nervous for him.
Chase round the wicket, bowls. Oh, reverse sweep, and there you go. Well, there's Ben Stokes for you. The ball goes for 4. A reverse sweep, and Ben Stokes reaches his century. He's taken his helmet off. He's got a headband on. He's getting a hug from Dom Sibley. It's been a marathon. It really has, and full of concentration and hard work. And a little gesture there with his finger towards his dad, who I'm sure is watching or listening back home in Christchurch. At 255 balls, he hit 10 fours and a 6. A model of patience. And then Ben Stokes plays the reverse sweep to get his 100. I mean, he's a remarkable man, really.
Brilliant shot, wasn't it? Control, premeditated. You saw in the run-up, he just twisted his hands a little bit on the grip. Really safe shot for him, really. Just stayed so still, so calm. Would have reacted to whatever length Roston Chase bowled. He just tapped it on his head for an easy 4. I'd imagine now, maybe not straight away, but Ben Stokes will try and accelerate the scoring.
Yeah, what is England's plan here?
Well, I was thinking at the beginning of the day that 450 would be their aim, I think, on this
with a bit of a bowl tonight, you mean? Is Chase bowls to Stokes, who leans forward and there's no run.
Yeah, I think absolutely, definitely a bowl tonight. You know, the forecast maybe tomorrow might change. We've not been great tomorrow, might change that thing 400. But I think now it's time to just push on.
268 for 3. England haven't lost a wicket today. And Chase goes in, round the wicket, bowls, and Stokes takes the bat out of the way. And again, that spins harmlessly away outside the off stump.
It's quite hard, I think, when you've been playing in this such controlled way to suddenly accelerate. But you know, there's a bloke who can do it. It will be Ben Stokes. He changes gears so easily.
Chase bowls to him. It's full, wide of the off stump again, and that ends the over. So both these two have now reached their hundreds. And well, Stokes looks skywards there for a moment. In terms of his 10, then. Hundreds. Is it the slowest? I mean, it's easy to suggest that it probably is.
It's the slowest by a long way. So you say his 10th Test 100. His previous slowest was the 199 balls it took him at Headingley last year in that famous innings against Australia after that very slow start on the penultimate evening. It's his 4th in his last 12 tests. In that time he's got over 1,000 runs at an average of 57 with 400s and 3 other 50-plus scores, and it's his 2nd Test 100 against West Indies, and the partnership is now England's longest in terms of over since Alistair Cook and Nick Compton in New Zealand 7 years ago.
In comes Roach and bowls, and Sibley drives. Didn't quite time that, but he's found the gap between mid-off and the bowler, and he'll come back for a couple. Haven't seen that off drive come out very often in Sibley's innings.
That's extraordinary stats from Ben Stokes. They're averaging 58 over the last 2 years.
He's a proper batsman, isn't he? Proper batsman.
It's the last 12 tests, so that's from the Lord's Test against Australia last year.
I mean, he can do amazing things, but essentially he's a proper batsman. Yeah.
He is now, isn't he? Like, I think when he first started, that inconsistency, you weren't quite sure what Ben Stokes was going to do when he walked out to bat. But I think now you know he's going to.
Here comes Roach then and bowls outside the off stump. There's no stroke from Sibley.
He's going to play the conditions well. He's going to assess what he needs to do, what the team needs to do, and play accordingly. And that's what you want from a number 5.
Yeah.
It's quite high for him to bat a number 5 in terms of when you first see it. But now there's no reason why he wouldn't. He's an extraordinary cricketer.
Looking at his scoring rate since he came back after his brief career hiatus. I'll come to this after this ball from Roach.
And he comes, and that's just where Sibley likes it, on his toes, and he'll get 2 down to long leg to take him to 105.
So up to the end of the 2017 summer, the end of the West Indies series, Stokes had a scoring rate of 63.7 per 100 balls. Since he came back in that series in New Zealand, he scored at 51 runs per 100 balls. So he's played in a much more restrained manner since then.
Well, he's leaning on his bat and very satisfied, but still some work to do. As Roach comes in, bringing a shadow with him. It's outside the off stump. And Sibley again. There's no obvious change of gear from Dom Sibley at the moment, I have to be honest. He let that one go through again. If there's any record of how many times he's left the ball, is there, Sibley? I mean, he seems to have done it a lot.
I saw it on television before the start of play today. He had the most leaves in Test cricket since his debut by a phenomenal margin. But I'll see if I can dig out some more.
He's left a huge number of balls outside that off stump. Roach again bowls to him. Oh, that's squared up. Another peel for leg before wicket. Now Roach seems rather more keen on this, and immediately Holder is reviewing it. It's been given not out. Did square him up. Impossible to tell from here because he's got his back to us, but we shall see. But Holder didn't even bother talking to his bowler about that. He simply made the gesture from second slip, and so we're going through the process.
Thank you. That's a fair delivery. If we could move on to front on spin vision, please.
That is Richard Kettleborough. We'll have a little look now from the other end, as it were. Oh, it did cut back a bit. It came.
Okay, let's just take that back, please.
It moved from leg to off.
Okay, we're going to need to see ultra edge when available, please.
Could be high, Aggers.
Yeah, it could be a bit. I think there's going to be.
Okay, keep it going through. Keep it going through, please. Flat lines. It goes past the bat.
No edge.
Go right through to the pad, please.
So it did do. It took a bit out of the pitch.
There's no bat involved. We'll go to ball tracking when available.
Umpire's call and
Look
high.
at this pitch. Oh, I put a ball on it. You can't see it. But
Pitching
umpire's
outside
call for
off,
height.
impact in line. Wickets is umpire's call.
Well,
We're going to go back to Michael on field. You can stay with your original decision. You're on camera now.
good decision because it is quite high. Fair review because they're desperate and they don't lose their review because there was an umpire's call. But unfortunately, there's a graphic as the ball landed on that bit, but it definitely just ruffled the surface of the pitch.
And Kemar Roach's wait continues.
He's now had 3 umpires call LBW referrals. So still no wicket in the series.
Well, he's smiling. His luck will change. Did square him up though, just nipped, didn't it? 272 for 3. Last ball of the over. And he comes and bowls to Sibley. It's up there, full again on his pads. And he works that away with a bit of bottom hand. Out to deep square leg. They take a single. And that's 273 for 3 then. Stokes 103. Sibley 106. Let's see if we can see that pitch there. Boom. You see it? Yeah.
Well, it's one of Joseph, wasn't it, at the beginning of yesterday, which he bowled, I think it was to Sibley as well. That went through the surface.
It was surprising on the second day.
Yeah, I mean, I thought from looking from here, as we weren't allowed on the wicket yesterday, that it was a dry wicket, but because you see the footmarks, but actually they're a little bit damp. The groundsman said it was a couple of days. We'd like to have a couple of days more sun on it to harden it up to a traditional Old Trafford wicket. So there is a little bit more moisture in it than usual.
273 for 3. And a conversation here between Chase and his captain about the field they're going to set for Sibley. There's a slip and there's a short leg. It's interesting because you wouldn't normally expect this field to somebody who's on a 106 not out, would you? With a short leg and a slip and man on the drive at mid-wicket. They might have spread out a bit, but there is a man out at deep square leg. Otherwise, everyone's up. 273 for 3. Chase moves in, bowls to Sibley, very full, and with a wristy flick he sends the ball to backward square leg.
He scores quite quickly in T20, then he got a good strike rate of 140 or so. He does have the shots. I think it's a perfect time to play the sweep shot.
Chase moves in, bowls short. Oh, it turned. Spun quite a long way, but it was very short. And Sibley was trying to give himself some room there to hit through the vacant offside, but the ball followed him. 273 for 3. Chase again moves in, Bolston down the leg side, a little bit of a flick there. He's going to might get 4 actually down to fine leg. We'll see. They've taken 2. Stokes will be running up to that far end. The fielder, well, I think he stopped that all right before he's collided with the boundary edge. I suspect the third umpire will have a look at this. But 3 runs were scored. It's quite slippery, this outfield, and the fielder there lost his footing. What? Has he hit the boundary edge? No. Maybe actually, though, the piece of the foam was already up. So that's why it looked as if he touched it with his foot. The question is, of course, if it were down, would that have been 4 runs? Because if the rope moves, which it sometimes does when the fielder collides with it, you have to take the original position of the rope as being the boundary.
Good knowledge.
Well, we had that once. Here. I think it was here that happened. And the question went out, what happens? The fielder collided and no one put the rope back. And you could just see the outline of where the rope would have been or was.
Well, actually, before pre-lockdown, any time the boundary ball got moved, someone would run out and put it back, wouldn't they?
That's right. Now Stokes, that's a good ball. That spun, that one, and it hit the sort of shoulder of the bat. And ran away down to short third man. There's no run. But Chase, who doesn't normally spin the ball at all, really, is finding a bit of proper spin now. That was off the pitch.
Yeah, not out of the rough either. That was straight. And it definitely turned off the good bit.
Here he is again, a little wider, and that turned away. Could it mean the West Indies will play 2 spinners in the next match, I wonder? Will our old friend Cornwall get an outing? I hope so.
Tough has just walked in.
He'll be loving this.
This is
He'll be loving it.
300 for 3. You to bowl second or fourth innings, Tuffers.
And there's a reverse sweep, and they didn't get hold of that one at all. Well, runs away out to square leg. 276 for 3. Yes, Tuffers is reflecting glory of that lunchtime feature on the art of fielding, which we enjoyed, Tuffers. Thanks for that. Very illuminating. The highlight of it is you walking out in disguise, by the sounds of it, or Jonty Rhodes going out in disguise, I think. Good entertainment. 276 for 3. And Roach still waiting for his first wicket. He's heading off to the far end. Holder walking slowly into the slip cord. And where are they going to get a wicket from? But again, the game hasn't run away from the West Indies, but it could do now.
You'd like to think England won't make the same mistake as they did at Southampton.
In comes Roach, starting a new over. Simply shoulders, arms, and through it goes to the wicketkeeper.
You know, losing those 5 for 30 really cost them that game, really, in terms of setting West Indies more than 200. I don't think they're going to do it here. It's not that kind of wicket.
But it gets to a stage where, when you are batting like this, you do have to get a bit of initiative, don't you? In case there is that sort of mess up, and people coming in thinking, right, we're behind the radar, but we've got to move, and you lose 3 wickets, and suddenly you're out for 340. Here's Roach bowling as an edge, and it's well stopped by Holder to his right there. Second slip. So it went along the ground.
You talk about laying the foundation, don't you, for an innings? Well, the foundation is properly laid.
Yeah.
For a big score. And with England in a must-win game to win the series, they're the ones who are going to have to be positive. West Indies, in one sense, with the forecast tomorrow, they're probably quite average. Just sit back.
Roach moves in, bowls to Sibley. Now that's a good shout for leg before wicket. I think he's down on his knee there. He's begging the umpire to give it out. And Jason Holder's looking, slightly angled head, quizzically at his bowler. Do you reckon? No, well, Roach doesn't think so. Leg side-ish, probably. Oh, hang on, that's the latest. That's the latest review you could possibly have. I saw the number 1 on the countdown there, and Jason Holder suddenly has decided to review this, and that was no input from the bowler, really. Well, let's see. He's trying to get his mate a wicket from somewhere.
Spin vision, please.
So let's have a look at this one. Well, it looks
Okay, I'm going to need to just see Ultra Edge when available, please.
high and leg side-ish.
Thank you. Keep
It's
it rolling
almost
through.
hit
Keep it
him
rolling through.
in
Flat
the
line.
identical
Keep it rolling through, please. Thank
spot
you.
on the
Happy there's
pad
no bat
above the
involved.
knee
We'll
roll.
go to ball tracking when ready.
I'm not sure that's even umpire's call.
at
Let's
best
see.
umpire's call.
Impact in line, missing.
It's pitching outside off, impact in line and missing the wickets.
Yeah. So they lose that one.
Going to go back to Michael on field to stay with his original decision. You're on camera now.
Holder at the moment could do no right. He's standing there. He dropped Sibley when he was on 68. So I think I think he's gambled there, didn't he? But the bowler knew. They still have 1 review left because, of course, there's 3 per side now. And Roach on his way again, bowls, and Sibley gets a thick edge, beats the diving gully fieldsman, and will dribble away for a couple. Down to third man. 277 for 3. Sibley to 111 not out. 335 balls he's faced.
What was the longest you ever went without a wicket, Eggers? Can you remember? Did you?
Yeah, long weeks.
Well, hasn't Keemar almost gone a year without a test wicket?
Is that what it-
I know they haven't played that many games.
Horrible feeling. He just goes searching, which he hasn't done, to be fair. Here's Roach bowling, short of a length this time. Simply stands up and defends, or rolls along the ground to mid-on. But you start trying all sorts of things, and of course the answer is just to keep plugging away, and your luck changes. 197 these two put on from 498 balls. But the feeling up here, I think, and probably in the dressing room too, there's got to start moving on a bit now. Roach bowls. It's wide outside the off stump. Sibley has nothing to do with it. And it ends the over. 113 overs. This partnership now with 197. And England are 278 for 3. More thoughts from Sir Alistair Cook, and then Isha Guha will come in here.
Well, the partnership coming up to 500 balls. I need to spare a thought for Ollie Pope. There's something called pad rash, where you're sitting waiting to go, and he's been waiting for I don't know how many minutes, but it's got to be close to 6 or 7 hours now. Maybe not quite so much as that, but it's a long time to wait to bat, desperate for a go. And hello, Isha. Might press
Hello.
the button. Yeah.
Now you know how Jonathan Trott used to feel.
And one of me and Strauss got out early. He used to save our skin.
So Ross and Chase, who's been operating either side of breaks, he will continue from the Brian Statham end. He's got a deep backward square, deep mid wicket, and a long on, long off, and a deep cover to Stokes. Coming around the wicket to him, slip in play as Stokes looks to play forwards at one, misses it as it goes through to Dowrich. Bit of turn on offer. Bounce here, as we know, at Old Trafford, generally one of the bounciest tracks in the country, but that actually stayed quite low as Chase is around the wicket again, clipping off his legs as Stokes pushing for the single and in search of a 2, but will settle for the 1 as Alzari Joseph comes sprinting in off the boundary, sends a throw in. Stokes to 103 then, 279 for 3. Both players making it to their centuries, and after what was talked about at Southampton, no doubt wanting to capitalise on a steady start and a good platform set this morning. 207 for 3 is how they started. They've added a further 76 today. All the ones for Sibley. 111 for him as he presses forwards and sweeps it out to the deep backward square boundary. There is a man out there, but it will beat him chasing after it, Kemar Roach. And he'll pick up 4. Dom Sibley as he goes to 115, 283 for 3.
Shot I was calling for a couple of overs ago. It's a bit of a free hit with the man at out on the boundary, quite a long way in front of square, and it'll cause a field change, and that should allow Dom Sibley to get a single slightly easier. Now he can play the paddle sweep because that man's no longer there. They've taken short leg out, and he's now gone to 45. He was going to square leg. Sorry, Isha, I'm doing your job.
No, it's good.
Talking about the movement, but it's now opened up the Dom Sibley single. But it shows what Jason Holder is thinking. He is thinking defensive tactics rather than attacking.
Sibley crouches as he's backing across, working at leg side, but it hits the pad and falls in front of that man at short fine. No run. There is so much space on the offside. There's man at backward point and mid-off, but then no one in between. And Roston Chase looking to bowl that off stump line. As he bowls now, clipped by Sibley to mid-wicket. Diving away to his right, no run.
Yeah, because if Jason Holder was thinking wickets, he'd probably left that gap to try and get the top edge.
As Chase is through, Sibley forward pressing and pushing back to Roston Chase. Yeah, absolutely. That one just drawing him slightly wider of the off stump. Final ball of the over, 283 for 3. Matt Gray emails, hearing Cookie on comms today reminded me of a story.
I always get slightly worried when this starts.
Well, it starts by saying, nearly 10 years ago, a large group of friends and I were stopped from entering the Indian restaurant we had booked to celebrate finishing school. As 18-year-olds in the mood for a big night, this was very upsetting. We were told the reason was that a celebrity guest had arrived at late notice. Who could this be? A celebrity guest at an unassuming Indian in Croydon. On looking through the window, we could see the celebrity guest was none other than the then England opener, the Knight, Alistair Cook. With nothing to do now except retreat to the pub, we spent 15 minutes repeatedly walking past the window of the restaurant, making exaggerated gestures at our cricketing hero in revenge for turfing us out of the restaurant, which we had rightfully booked. We're all still sour about it to this day. Hope you enjoyed the curry, chef.
That's just made up. I'm sorry. There's no way I would have turfed someone out of the restaurant. I'm trying to think if I've ever been to Croydon. I was trying to think now. So, but if I walk into a restaurant and ask for a table and they give it to me, it's not my fault.
Well, here comes Joseph past the umpire. Stokes advancing, punishing that to mid-on, but no run is taken because he hits it straight to the fielder. So have you been to Croydon?
I'm just trying to work out when it was. Have we got any dates? Can we find out when it was? Because the only time I can half remember that was maybe last year with Essex. We went playing Surrey and we went for a curry. But
you'd have invited them in, surely.
10 years ago. That's no, I'm not having that one.
A man's just been sent out to deep points as Joseph comes running in now to Stokes, and he's punched that up and over mid-wicket dismissively for a boundary. He's picked up 6 for that shot. Wow. That really was something to behold from Stokes. Just lovely balance at the crease. He can't believe it's gone for 6. And he moves to 110.
Wow, what a brilliant shot. From what we've seen today, there's an in-swinger from Joseph, as he's bowled so many times, played, met by a defensive shot from Stokes. He's just lent on an on-drive away, which is a slightly extended his follow-through, and it's just gone for 6. And you know when you hit a good shot, and that little smirk he showed to Dom Sibley after hitting that.
Yeah.
But this shows that England are pushing on, which is brilliant.
He enjoyed that. Stokes this time forward and in defence to the offside. Well, that was boring.
It's almost exactly the same ball. I mean, to have the talent, decide, well, this ball I'm just going to hit it for 6, and then the same ball I'm going to block.
Yeah, it was a good length delivery. He's just literally just punched through the shot, all that weight into it, and the sound as well, the cracking sound that it made. If you get a chance to watch this back on highlights, 7 o'clock tonight, also in play highlights and clips available online. That is some swagger in that shot. We're just watching the replays. Joseph is in again to Stokes, this time pushing one away off a good length to the leg side.
That was the 500th ball of this partnership. which is only the third 500-ball partnership in Test cricket in the last 3 years.
Wow. There you go.
Most recent one was Santner and Watling in Mount Maunganui as they defied England last November.
Yeah, Watling going on to a double century. Well, it looks like Stokes is going to get a move on here. Back and across. Getting right on top of the ball, pushing it to the offside, no run. Mentioned a man out at deep point, there's a man at deep backward square, fine leg as well. There's a slip in a gully, extra mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket. We talked about the short ball yesterday. We still haven't seen too much of it today, Cookie.
No, and that one Gabriel ball to Ben Stokes wasn't that short, but it did hit him in the ribs, in the glove, sorry, in front of his face. It wasn't total surprise out of nowhere. I thought, that might encourage them to do, but they've been really patient. I think they will look back and regret not trying to do something different.
Stokes off his hips, works that out to deep backward square. He comes through for one at the end of the over. He is now on all the ones. Stokes 111, England 290 for 3.
It's almost the first time, actually. West Indies have been brilliant with their energy in the field. You talk about no crowd for them to thrive, as we've mentioned a number of times, and they've kept going and kept going. But just the last 20 minutes of England just pushing on, the heads are just starting to drop. This could be danger time for West Indies.
The 200 partnership came out with a Sibley sweep for 4 in Chase's last over. It took 82 overs to reach the 200 mark.
Winding them down. This pair. Stokes just having a quick scan of the leg side field. He's got a man at deep backward square, deep mid wicket, long on, long off, and cover as chases around the wicket. Bowls it short. That's pulled away to deep mid wicket from Stokes, who ends up playing it one-handed as he takes one hand off the bat, the right hand. Goes to 112, 291 for 3.
There's been a few occasions, that back of the length ball from Chase, they found it hard to time. If that was a really true wicket, you'd expect him to belt it. Just struggling a little bit of time. I think Ben will be looking for the reverse sweep to Chase. That'll be a big area for his boundary, and Sibley's got to get him on strike.
Sibley, forward press, defending, but firmly to mid-wicket. Simon Jones emails. The Simon Jones? Don't know. 9 years ago, along with my family, I stopped at a little chef on the A1 near Scotch Corner. I know that one. But they couldn't accommodate us due to the celebrity guest who had stopped for his lunch as Chase bowls to Sibley, clipping it to the deep square for 1. Goes to 115, 292 for 3. None other than Alistair Cook. We had to make do with a tube of Smarties each. So, you used to hang out a little chef, did you, chef?
Continue.
Is that a place that you frequented on the A1?
Please continue making your made-up emails. Send to TMS. I'd like to hear them.
Stokes cutting out to deep cover off the bowling of Chase. Has sprinted the 1 and will casually come back for the second as he goes to 112.
I reckon we should have a little competition. Look at the best made-up story about me today. So it seems these two so far. Is there even a little chef at Scotch Corner? I'm going to have a Google it.
Stokes leaves outside the off stump, the bowling of Chase.
Other search engines are available, of course.
Spotted. Celebrity chef. As Chase is around the wicket to Stokes, forward pressing and smothering the ball to the offside. So, end of the over. And in fact, I was looking at the TV screen there. He's on 114, Stokes. I did think that he'd pushed on a bit further. 294 for 3 then. England.
There's also nothing wrong with a tube of Smarties, aren't there?
No.
Lovely Smartie.
Yeah.
The orange Smartie.
Your favourite?
Orange, 100%. Always pour
I always
them out.
took those out.
To eat or save them?
No, take them away.
Don't like it?
No.
No. You're the only person I've ever met who doesn't like the orange. I used to line up, we used to fight over them just with your brothers to see who get the oranges.
Thought you went in the England dressing room.
Well, I did catch Mark Wood actually from a distance, wearing a mask and gloves, of course.
Last night.
In the his little tuck shop. Just you were.
Yeah,
were
I was with you.
me?
Yeah. He was raiding it, wasn't he? After all that running he did.
As Joseph will continue from the James Anderson end past the umpire, Sibley leaves outside the off stump. As he now comes down to have a look at the track. Very tall in stature is Sibley as he retreats to his crease. And he did have a guilty look on his face as he saw myself and Alistair walk through the door. Saying it was all healthy snacks, of course, but I looked over and it was pretty much all sweets. This is Mark Wood, Carlos, who's come in attacking the tuck shop downstairs last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, did you see it as well?
I was a little quiet because I heard sweets and I thought I thought I was in the wrong. But yeah, I saw that, and he wasn't happy, was he?
Well, he wasn't happy being caught. Yeah.
Never are.
Not necessarily the diet for a fast bowler, is it? Lots of chocolate and sweets.
To be fair to him, I saw him sprinting around the outfield with James Anderson and I think Overton in his wake, so he's been running it off.
Yes.
And he's been piling it on at night.
He's been trying to make his action more efficient by having a haircut as well. And I noticed just before that first test match, one of the support staff was shaving the side of his head.
Aerodynamics. That's why most of the sportsmen have mohawks, you know. It isn't just the aesthetics of it, is actual aerodynamics, especially when you land.
It's also helpful for the sprint finish. I'll get to that in just a second, as Craig Brathwaite is on from the James Anderson end. He's bowling to Sibley, who's working that leg side to mid-wicket, no run. Adam Jamili, 100 metre, 200 metre sprinter. I saw him at Rio, and it's been such a tough time for him as Sibley is into his crease and clipping that to short fine. Come through for one, goes to 117. And he keeps just missing out on the bronze by literally like a fraction of a second. Like, I'm talking a tenth of a second. And I'm pretty sure it was a 200, and I was right there at the sprint finish, and I was very fortunate to be at the track that night. And he was cruising it. He was there. I thought he was going to get a medal, as Brathwaite is around the wicket to Stokes, defending. And quite literally, at the last second, I think it was a French guy, just came hurtling behind him, and as they dipped for the finish, Brathwaite bowls to Stokes, punching to extra cover off the back foot. They come through for a single. It's a misfield, and if he'd have taken it cleanly, Stokes might have thought again. Roston Chase in that area there, shaking his hand because he hit that with some force. Ben Stokes goes to 115, 296 for 3. As Brathwaite bowls again. That is slow from Brathwaite. That's works by Sibley to hold her at mid-wicket. As he dives, his sunglasses come off and parries the ball. They do think about a single, but settle for not running. So 296 for 3 at the end of the over. And when the image came up on the screen, he literally, if he'd have had slightly thicker hair, he would have got the bronze medal.
But is it
was
torso?
It was literally no, because his head is bowing forwards, and it's the first thing that goes past the line.
Jeez,
And it was literally a tenth of a second. I always thought, I just wish he had longer hair.
Yeah, I need to grow mine, no? Jeez.
You did a bit of athletics when you were younger, did you?
Yeah, when I was about 8
Right.
or 9. Everyone was fast at 8 or 9.
As Chase continues to Stokes, punching to extra cover. No run. Sir Alistair has left the box, but Matt Gray emails back about the Curry restaurant story. Cookie might deny it, but the scorecard from Essex v Surrey in 2011 is Chase bowls again. A reverse sweep comes out. He gets it past, short fine, sort of half coming down Stokes as he whips that ball out to the boundary. He goes to 115, and the score now 300 for 3 England. More news. Yes, he was in Croydon at Whitgift School. I suggest the chef thinks back a little more carefully. I mean, he's played that much cricket. People have been sending in stories, Carlos, of chefs spotting places they've not been able to get into, restaurants they haven't been able to get into because Alistair Cook has been there. As Stokes gets deep into his crease, manoeuvres the ball to mid-wicket. Jason Holder chasing after it at mid-on. Turns and throws, and Stokes to 120. In fact, he just moved to 119 with that boundary. 301 for 3.
So does Sir Alistair block off all restaurants that he's in?
Well, this is yeah.
Before or after
This is what
Knighthead?
we're finding
Before or after
as we
Knighthead?
delve a little deeper. Before or after?
Knighthead.
Well, it would be interesting to find out. When did he receive his knighthood? It wasn't 10 years ago. It was more recent.
He must have known it was coming, though.
He just predated everything. I will be a sir. I need this restaurant blocked
It was
off.
after that 700-run Ashes series.
Sibley comes forwards and steers that to short fine. Roston Chase bowling over the wicket now. As he receives the ball, he's got a lot of white tape on his left hand. Now gives the ball a little bit of a shine before spinning himself a catch, and he is through his action to Sibley, looking to work it leg side, getting back into his crease off his hip, but misses it as swift work from Dowrich behind the stumps. Sibley, bat hovering as he advances, hits the pad as it falls in front of him onto the offside, and Roston Chase goes to collect the ball. 301 for 3 then. Stokes on 120, Sibley on 117. It's a damaging partnership for the West Indies. Can they break it? A few more words from you, Carlos, and then it will be Simon Mann.
Just very concerned with this West Indies attack. They've been very, very good in Southampton. On a helpful track, they were very patient. They got all the rewards. However, on a track a lot better for batting, we haven't seen a plan B or plan C as yet. I know there's talk of a slow wicket, but someone needs to do the bowling equivalent of what Dom Sibley has done for England for this West Indies bowling attack. And Alzai Joseph is off. Looks as though he's twinged something. Shannon Gabriel, not sure if he's quite 100%. So the brunt of the attack is Roston Chase, Jason Holder and Kumar Roach at the moment.
Yeah, problems for West Indies. England getting on top here, benefiting from their determined batting yesterday and this morning, has to be said. Here is Stokes on 120, gets one outside the off stump from Holder, going across him. And Dowrich sprawls away to his left-hand side to collect. So Stokes has gone ahead of Sibley now. I think we all thought that would happen at one point. England supporters are hoping that he really accelerates this afternoon, and he's done all the groundwork. No time for a Stokes masterclass in attacking batting if possible, although it's not easy on this pitch. The ball is spinning for Roston Chase. What we second afternoon, it's a bit of a concern for West Indies. Batting last. Here is Holder going into bowl to Stokes, who comes down the pitch and then lets it go, and Dowrich collects it and underarms the ball towards the stump. The sort of thing you see in club cricket actually quite often, but not very often in Test cricket.
It's true, it's true. But on the Stokes Sibley, it's been a good dynamic so far. I think Sibley rubbed off on Stokes brilliantly for him to be as patient as he's been now. And funny enough, Sibley's actually showing some intent, albeit not scoring. So it'd be interesting for him to see if he can take himself out of his comfort zone and still be responsible. and allow Stokes to express himself, Butler to come, Pope to come.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for Ollie Pope. He's sitting downstairs with his pads on. Not all the time because he had a night's sleep, but since when? When was the last wicket, Andy? What time did it fall yesterday?
I think it was in 2009.
Right. Feels
It was
like
in the
it.
32nd over.
What time was that yesterday? Middle of the afternoon when Root was out, caught its second slip. So, yeah, so second half of yesterday and all of today he's been sitting down there with his pads on waiting to come in. It's never easy when you come in after have to come in after a long partnership. Holder bowls to Stokes, who flashes away a ball that's short outside the off stump. He's looking for two here. Out to Bonner, the subfielder, who sends in the return. Stokes has to stretch to the line, gets there. Dowrich takes off the bail. Again, it's one of those in a one-day match. You say, oh yeah, two, no trouble. But the value of a wicket in a test match being greater. Felt tight there, but Stokes pushed the accelerator down and got home.
It was 18 overs into the afternoon session that the last wicket fell, and the partnership is now England's longest in terms of balls faced since Stuart Broad and Jonathan Trott batted for 574 balls for the 8th wicket in that infamous Lord's Test against Pakistan in 2010.
Wow. 303 for 3. Holder bowls to Stokes, who tiptoes down the pitch, gets a very full ball, dug out into the offside. He's looking for two again. Bonner's onto it again. And this time it's only a single. It was less ground to make up that time, Bonner, the subfielder. 304 for 3. Just some indications there. I know Stokes has been moving around, he did at Southampton. Just some indications that Stokes is beginning to try to take the attack to West Indies attack. 304 for 3. Stokes to 123. Holder 26th over has been very economical. No wicket for 49. Still overcast at Old Trafford. The light's not on today. Not yet, anyway.
Simon, what do you think is the target total for England at the moment?
Here's Sibley waiting for the latest ball from Holder. And Sibley drives, push drive, really no power, and it rolls up towards mid-off. And there is no run. So we're playing extra overs today, aren't we? So we can go to 7.
Its partnership at 223 now is England's largest since Alistair Cook's last test, when he and Joe Root added 259 for the 3rd wicket against India at the Oval in 2018.
61 overs left in the day's play after this ball from Holder. Goes in now and bowls to Sibley, and Sibley pushes towards point, and there's no run. End of the over. 304 for 3. You'd think they'd want 500 if they possibly could. Whether they could get that today, just get as many as you possibly can in this first innings. And I mean, teams don't like to just bat once these days. They like to give their bowlers a break. But if there is rain around tomorrow, it may be, I mean, if it would come down, it's projecting ahead, it may be that England, think about a follow-on if possible in this game. That might be the way they're thinking. I mean, there's a lot of cricket to be played before that happens. But if you get 500, then that does bring in the follow-on. It's 304 for 3. Chase bowls, crashed away by Stokes into the offside towards Kemar Roach, who's on the deep cover boundary. And one more.
After waiting so long to get to 300, I think 450 is the absolute minimum. But then it depends a lot on how well the West Indies bat, because I'm sure they'd love to run this attack further into the ground with some of the bowlers pulling it. But then is the time in the game left. 450.
Chase to Sibley. Sibley reverse sweeps, misses it, goes down the leg side, taken by Dowrich. Tried that shot a few times. He's not always pulled it off. Stokes has played a couple of magnificent reverse sweeps, not least a couple of overs ago. It wasn't quite there for the shot. Here is Chase bowling, and Sibley gets another ball that spins down the leg side, taken by Dowrich. There is some spin out there for Roston Chase. And what are we, only on the second day? 305 for 3. It's looking increasingly a good toss to lose, this, for England.
It is. No demons in the pitch at the moment. Looks very, very flat.
As we mentioned at the start, yesterday, in 11 of the last 13 first innings on this ground, teams have reached 350.
Yeah. And besides the point that no side has put the opposition in 1993 on this ground in the Test match. Chase now with a leg slip, bowls to Sibley, balloons in the air to that leg slip fielder. Blackwood, who collects it, but it was off the pad, so no appeal. We've got 2 men out on the leg side, 3 saving 1 on the onside. Leg slip. So 7-2 onside field for Sibley, who reverse sweeps. He struck on the pad outside the line of off stump. An appeal from Blackwood, who'd actually come across from leg slip, trying to anticipate a possible catch there. I haven't seen one of those pulled off yet, but it'll be good fun when it happens.
And then you see Dowrich quite down the leg side and appealing for LBW.
Yeah.
All happening in that ball.
Sibley in his 7-2 onside field, looking to reverse sweep, goes back there and clips that away straight to Bonner, fielding at square leg. And there is no run. 305 for 3. Sibley feeling he has to reverse sweep, or at least try to reverse sweep, because it's such a strong onside field. There aren't many gaps, many options on that onside. End of the over then, 305 for 3. England have been out there for, and West Indies, for 120 overs now. 60 overs left in the day's play. I mean, you could score 4 and over from here, can't you? We know if a flagging attack, batsman in, 4 and over for 50 overs, another 200 is 500, and then it leaves West Indies possibly, 8 overs before the close, and we might even really go for it if you get closer to 500.
They probably want to bowl a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Probably 15, 20 overs.
Holder into bowl to Stokes, and Stokes advances down the pitch, gets a ball that's short of a length, and he tries to flay it into the leg side, swivel pull, and miscues it completely. Takes one hand off the bat and it rolls out towards mid-wicket, and there is no run. Stokes looks as if he means business here. There's a body language, the way he's batting, looking as if it's time to go.
I was very happy to actually see a ball getting above waist height, Simon.
Holder into bowl to Stokes, and clips that away.
4.
For 4, yeah, through backward square leg. Disappeared out of my view for a moment. The camera's in front of us, and the gantry. He hit that very sweetly indeed off his pads. And in the air for a while, past the square leg umpire. Absolutely no chance for Kemar Roach on that deep square leg boundary.
So the question for me again is, you just bowled a short ball, he pulled at it, he miscued it, toe-ended it back to you, and then you're gone full again. Haven't given the short ball any time.
Holder bowls to Stokes, who advances down the pitch. Holder bowls it wide, and Stokes allows it to go through. Stokes up to 128 now. With that boundary, 309 for 3. And he's definitely changing gears here, Ben Stokes. He's looking to take West Indies' attack on. Holder just put some sawdust by the umpire where he leaps to bowl. Moves in again. And bowls to Stokes. It's wide, and he tries to smash that away and misses it. Taken by Dowrich away to his left.
It would have been a lovely shot if he'd gone over cover or point for 6. Very expansive. I just want to see something different. Either you're going to bowl all the balls full and wide and set a 7-2 field and dry up the scoring. You're going to go short, set majority of men into the leg side. There just needs to be a plan B. At the moment, they're trying too much samey stuff.
Holder rolls to Stokes, slower ball outside the off stump. Stokes leaves it, allows it to go through to Dowrich. Weather today much better than yesterday. There's a hint of sunshine as well at Old Trafford. Not much, but just a hint of it. Away to the left-hand side where the weather's coming from. Dark cloud over the ground at the moment. Hard work for West Indies. Holder. And the Jimmy Anderson end goes in now, bowls to Stokes and moves across his crease. He's struck on the pad. Big shout for LBW. Stokes initially sets off for a leg by. He did get a long way across there, Ben Stokes. Umpire Goff said not out. West Indies have 1 review left. Holder saying, yeah, he got a long way across. What do you think? Thinking about it, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and there's the review.
TV umpire to director. We have a player review for LBW. Original decision is not out. If we can see the front foot first, please.
difficult one for us to tell up here because Stokes did get a long
Thank
way
you. Fair
across.
delivery. If we can move on to front on spin vision, please.
Looks height.
Okay, it doesn't look like there's any batting involved. Just let's confirm that, please, with Ultra Edge.
Where did it
Keep it
pitch
going
as well?
through. Flat line. Keep it going through. Yep. No bat involved. We'll go to ball tracking when ready, please.
Pitching in line, impact in line.
Pitching in
Umpire's
line,
call.
impact in line. Wickets is umpire's call. So I'm going to go back to Michael on field, please. Michael, you can stay with your original decision of not out. You're on camera now.
It's a lovely piece of bowling by Holder, actually, wasn't it? Because it pitched on and nipped back, and it was just a fraction too high for the umpire to give it out. It was umpire's call. The bail trimmer. It was no more than that.
Yeah.
Right at the top of middle stump.
Kept us all interested just
Yeah.
long enough, but yeah, just hitting the top. As soon as you see it hit above the knee roll or anywhere close, you always start to question height, especially with Jace coming down from almost 7 foot tall. So another one that West Indies bowling attack feel oh so close yet so far.
Yeah. Not the first umpire's call today. Right, here's Chase beginning a new over. Bowls to Sibley. Sibley gets a little shuffle down the pitch there and then drives at it, gets the inner part of the bat on it and goes back with a square along the ground for a single. Sibley to 118. And then into 310 for 3. A fine piece of bowling from Holder. It's one of those that deserved a wicket really, because it pitched on, nipped back, hit him in line, middle stump, but right at the top of the middle stump.
I think what was beautiful as well is the 3 balls previous to that he just went away almost too wide to then drag him across.
Chase bowls to Stokes. Stokes goes back and plays that quietly in defence. Darrich has to come from behind the stumps to pick up. And there's no run. Stokes now looking to be more expansive. The field is far flung. 5 men on the boundary. Chase bowls to Stokes, who plays that inside out towards the extra cover region. It won't be 4, you've got at least 2. Campbell runs round from long off, sends in the return. Stokes is back for the 3rd run. One of many 3s in this test match. Seems to be more 3s in this test match than I can remember in any game, any test match played in the last 20 years or so.
I'll dig it out.
No need to do that, Andy. No.
Sibley's the first England opener to, only the second England opener to make it to 120 overs in the first innings of a test match in the last 20 years. Alistair Cook did turn that day-night game in Birmingham.
Chase to Sibley. Sibley gets a straight ball which he blocks. Goes to straight mid-wicket and there's no run. How many 3s have we had in this match though? It's a big outfield here and also slow outfield. Very green. Pitch is dry though. Chase bowls to Sibley, who flicks that firmly with the spin but straight to mid-wicket. And there is no run. A very strong onside field still. 7-2 onside field. There's a backward point in the mid-off. The only fielder's on the offside. So leg slip in, any attacking fielder. Pushed through by Chase. Sibley goes back really high. He missed out there. That was a 4 ball. It was short and wide outside the off stump. He didn't time it. Went past mid-off. Shamar Brooks ran back, sent in the return. Sibley gets 2 though. And he moves on to 120. Stokes is 131. And England are 315 for 3. Yeah, missed out there, Sibley, on that last ball over.
I think when you're speaking about improvement and how players can improve, really and truly that's the only thing he'd be conscious of when you meet better bowling attacks, with all due respect to this one, or in more challenging conditions. You really need to maximize every bad ball you get, and you find he often hits boundary balls for 1s and for 2s. And
right, the Holder-Stokes battle again. Holder goes in and bowls to Stokes. He's down the pitch looking to thrash him through the offside. He misses it. It's a no ball though, a rare no ball called by the standing umpire. Umpire Goff signalling to the scorers. 315 for 3. Have a look, how far was he over? Just seeing the replay. Yeah, quite a long way over.
There've been 18 threes in this innings so far. By comparison, and Southampton there were 6, 6, 5 and 10 in the 4 innings.
Holder to Stokes. Stokes takes a step across and then drills it down the ground in the air for a while, but to the right of mid-on, to the left of the bowler, and that's gone away for 4 up towards the old pavilion. That was a no-nonsense blow from Stokes, who looks really in the mood now. It's a low full toss. In the end, Stokes advancing down the pitch.
Yeah, I think the beauty of Stokes' stroke play throughout this innings, and even in Southampton, full face of the bat. A couple of times in Southampton when he got out, playing across, breaking the wrist too early, but he's been very fluent throughout this innings.
It's 135, it's 320 for 3. Holder bowls to Stokes, who smashes this down the ground as well for 4. Sibley had to get out of the way at the non-strikers end. A leap from umpire Gough as well. And Stokes is on the charge. 139 for 3. You can imagine if there were a crowd in here on a Friday, they'd be all standing up and cheering in a way. The shackles are off now.
He'll be drunk, Simon. It's really picked up, but through that first session it was very, very difficult to get through without some alcohol in.
40 from his last 40 balls.
Yeah.
Ben Stokes, and that's started from 99 off 254 to the 4 with which he reaches 100.
Second highest score in Test cricket as well. Gone past that 135 against Australia at Headingley. A long way to go to make a career best. Holder bowls to Stokes, he chases a wide one, and it's not taken cleanly by the wicketkeeper Dowrich, but not much damage done there. Blackwood chases back and gets it before Stokes can go through for a bye. Almost trying to hit that too hard, and just smash that through the offside. Well, if he bats for another hour, it's going to be fun for those of us who are here today and those who are consuming this match via radio and television. Stokes is, well, he's in 5th now. He was in 2nd for a long part of his innings. Now he's in 5th gear. Here is Holder to bowl to him. And, dab into the offside. Good counter as well. Takes a single. Last ball of the over. 325 for 3. Stokes moves to 140. No, it's not the last ball there. There are 2 to go.
It sure looked like it.
I'm very excited. The way he played it was like the last ball of the over.
Stealing strike.
Also, Allison's lurking here as well, so I assumed it was time to hand over. So.
It's had 4 ball overs in the 1880s, I think.
Yeah.
Simon, maybe just haven't quite updated your
We've had all
stats
sorts of
system.
things, haven't we? 8 ball overs as well. It's a long over, that, isn't it? 8 ball over if you bowl a couple of no balls, a couple of wides, as Shannon Gabriel did earlier today. Holder to Sibley. Sibley plays quietly though in defence. Towards mid-on, it was intercepted. Straight mid-wicket by Bonner coming across. And no run. Sibley here might just play for Stokes, get Stokes on strike. Let him loose.
He'll be happy just trudging along.
Yeah.
Single here, 2 there. He'll go under the radar, no?
Holder to Sibley, last ball of the over, and Sibley, he's saying, all yours, Ben. He blocks it into the onside. There's no run. It's 325 for 3 more from Carlos or Andy, and then it will be Alison Mitchell.
It's England's highest 4th wicket partnership since 2008, when Peterson and Bell added 286 against South Africa at Lord's. Got a way to go to beat England's record 4th wicket stand against West Indies. 411. Peter May and Colin Cowdery in the 2nd innings of a drawn game at Edgbaston in May 1957.
Let's hope this one isn't a draw for the sake of the series. It'd be great if England win it and it levels at 1 apiece with a decider. Of course, the West Indies want to come in and, massively coming from behind now. And what's the prospect of, time? If Stokes now continues in this vein, this is where the match would be set up for England, isn't it? If he can score quickly now, get that scoreboard moving.
Yeah, it is, but West Indies need to do something different. We saw Jason Ball, 1 short ball, Stokes pulled at it, Q ended it, next ball full, next few balls full and wide. For some reason they are against this short ball plan, but going full and wide for a few overs, just give that some time to work as well. Just stop the flow of the game. Stokes obviously wants to get after the bowling. He's walking down, he's walking across. Yeah, just take him out of comfort zone. Like, you're happy to bowl to Sibley. You're happy to just, at this point in time, let him block 6 balls. Is a 1 over, less in the game. But for Stokes, he can take the game away from you. He can easily go on to score at 4, 5, 6 and over. And before you look around, the score is 400, 450, and you basically batted out of the game.
Yeah, that's the position England want to get themselves into. So Roston Chase, with ball in hand. Jason Holder is there at slip, the solitary slip, bowling now to Stokes, comes forward, it's off the outside edge of the bat, but well wide of Holder, and he's able to take 1. Partnership 244. The score moves on to 326 for 3, Stokes 141. Simon mentioned a long way away from his test best at the moment, so that was the 258, which I was lucky enough to be in Cape Town to watch the fastest double 100 for England in tests. One from Stokes.
I watched that as well. There's some serious shots off Wabada in particular. I think they had a little something going. He and Jace have a little something going.
Well, yep. Those one-on-one battles, isn't it? Chase over the wicket now to Sibley, down the leg side with the off spin. It's fumbled by Dowrich. I think he went from something like overnight Stokes, I think it was like 70 odd, and then just absolutely flayed the bowling and rocketed to the double 100.
And this would be a different challenge because obviously he's had the first part. This is probably more similar to Headingley. But yeah, from a West Indies point of view, definitely not 258, I hope.
Sibley facing up, but more fly that time from Chase. Past short mid-wicket. I think he's running on a misfield. Now Sibley's stranded and the throw comes in at the non-striker's end. And he gets back inside his crease. Been a couple of occasions where these two haven't had the communication completely spot on. Probably Wise got through short mid-wicket, fielded by mid-on in the end. And that was the point at which Stokes said, no, go back, go back. So Chase gives the ball a little bit of a rub before setting off out to bowl to Sibley. He's forward and a flick of the wrist, works it towards forward square leg, finds the fielder, and there is no run. And the Headingley 100 from Stokes was a slow starter to work to his overnight score, and then stepped on the gas in spectacular fashion as Chase is in again. More risk this time, and it's a misfield again, and a thinking about a single, but it's picked up by Raymond Reefer, who's on the field as a substitute. Stokes once again sending Sibley back. It's like he's eager to get off strike and keep the scoreboard, keep the strike rotating, keep the scoreboard moving. Sibley on 120. And Chase in as he watches that one, comes forward, there's turn, there's some bounce, it's down the leg side and into the gloves of the keeper to end the over. 326 for 3. Stokes 141 from his 297 deliveries, and has overtaken Sibley 120 from the 368 that he's faced. Michael Vaughan, afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. This is tremendous stuff from this England pair, Stokes in particular. We know what a striker of a baller he is. He's played some extraordinary shots. That 6 over mid-wicket, the check drive. I don't think even Ben could believe that it went all the way into the stands. Sibley's playing nicely as well. He probably could work away of getting a sweep or two away to the off spinner. He's played one nice sweep for 4. Just a leg slipping plays for Dom Sibley against Roston Chase, and no 45 for the top edge sweep, so it's almost like a free hit for him. Shannon Gabriel, he's going to come back into the attack. I bet he's delighted with that.
A mixed day for Gabriel. Started off incredibly wayward. Struggled to find the cut strip a couple of times with some wides. Surprised Jason Holder, delivering it straight into the hands of second slip at one point. Bowled a little bit better, I thought, when he came back with the second spell with the new ball. Oh, big thrash over the top of slip away down to the boundary for 4. The bat of Stokes went for a hefty shot. Blackwood leapt in the air over the top of his outstretched arms and fingers, but enough on it from Stokes for it to fly away.
Yeah, I reckon if that goes to Jason Holder with his height, that's a realistic chance. To Jermaine Blackwood, not quite as tall. It's gone probably a yard beyond his outstretched hands, and it went quickly. strap yourselves in. This is going to be, well, the last half an hour has been fun watching Ben Stokes, but he's pretty much gone from second gear right into sixth gear in the space of a few minutes.
And I think he's eyeing up the fact that Gabriel has not had the best of days with the ball. Gabriel around the wicket, Stokes looking to pull it, in fact gets an edge onto his body, and the ball drops into the turf by his feet. But there isn't that deep square leg. I think if Stokes might have got hold of that, it could have disappeared into the old press box.
How many overs left today, Andy? What's the story with that?
55 after this one.
55, so if England bat another 40, 35-40, you'd think they'd score 130, maybe 140 in that time, maybe a bit more. I believe a bit more, Andy, by the nod of your head. So, OK, give them 170, that gets them to 500. Perfect, declare then.
Have a little bit of a bowl tonight.
Yeah, that'll be the plan. They want 10 to 15 overs tonight.
Partnership is worth 249 at the moment. Gabriel comes running in. Past the umpire into Stokes, full chipped in the air. Won't be six this time, but it's almost a similar sort of checked shot away, just wide of mid-on for four. Punchy stroke, 334 for three. The partnership now does go beyond 250 between Sibley and Stokes.
I'd still like to know, Andy, I don't think you actually logged this kind of information, but have they bowled one bouncer?
I wonder what qualifies as a bouncer today.
Not many. I'll check. The CricViz have different length ratings. I'll dig around.
I'm going to really challenge you. For the West Indies, generally renowned for bowling a bit of chin music, this must be the first ever West Indies team that's bowled 125 overs and yet to bowl a bouncer.
I recall a couple of what you might call back of a length deliveries, short balls, but not genuine bouncers that trouble the batsman. Gabriel in again, thrashed away by Stokes behind square on the offside. We'll get two here, running with good intent. Clean pick-up and throw comes in. And Stokes passes 150 for the second time in his career. First time he's reached this score against the West Indies, and first time at home as well.
Well, when you think he was 99 not out at lunch, so in the space of an hour and 10 minutes, I think that's right, he scored 52 runs himself. Long gone, and a mid-off halfway back tells the story. Shannon Gabriel, the quick, bowls 90 miles an hour.
Stokes looking to get after him. Wide, he's chased it, but there is deep backward point, and he didn't really get hold of it. I mean, it was a real extension of the arms to reach that one. So he's earned one.
I'd love to ask the Jason Holder and his team and the coaches. I know it's slow. The pitch isn't a quick pitch, and we generally do get more bounce and pace here. But on any wicket, you can bowl a bouncer. It just takes a bit of effort, and even if it goes high above the batsman's head, at least you're just offering a question. It's all a bit too kind, doesn't it?
Haven't been many questions today, has there? I mean, the pitch hasn't had much pace in it. Yesterday we saw that tussle where it was difficult for the batsman to score, but now how set they are, and that's a wideish one as well, and chased by Sibley, didn't make contact. But eyeing up a vacant region, that would have been out towards the cover boundary if he'd been able to lay bat on balling it past backward point. Sun's just coming out here at Old Trafford. There's still been grey cloud, overcast sky over the ground all day. A bit of sunshine now and then. The pitch offers more and more turn for Roston Chase that we've seen as well. So Dom Sibley will be keenly watching that. Dom Bess from the dressing room. Sibley crouching over his bat.
Sibley can bowl a bit of off-spin.
Maybe he will as well. Gabriel charging in again, and a little flirt outside the off stump from Sibley. Through to the keeper. That's a good line from Gabriel. And it's the end of the over, 338 for three. Drinks going to be brought out here as we're midway through the afternoon session. But it's a session really where these two look to exert their control and to move the game forward, and that's what is needed, because a bit of a concern that maybe the draw would be the only thing on the cards with the rate of scoring at one stage, but it's needed Stokes to take the initiative, and he's done it with Sibley alongside him. He's overtaken him, and they'll try and set things up now in the next couple of hours.
Yeah, I mean, Ollie Pope's come and Josh Butler, we know exactly the kind of innings that both those two can play, particularly Butler.
But that's an exciting prospect, isn't it? Seeing Butler come in with the game set up in this situation.
Well, this is the ideal scenario for a Butler-style player, that all the hard work, all the foundations have been set. The West Indian bowlers are tired. And all of a sudden, they know that as a group, and you can see Jason Holder just talking to his team. They know that the next 2 hours of cricket, it's going to be a bit chaotic for them out in the field. There'll be a lot of quick singles, there'll be big blows. I think from West Indies' perspective, they've just got to try and get wickets. And by doing so, that would restrict the scoring rate, you would think. But if Stokes stays out there, it's just going to continue to, the scoreboard to tick so quickly, and give England a perfect chance to declare later on in the day, to give the West Indies, that opening partnership quite an awkward 15 overs.
That's it. The more they chase wickets, though, and how much do you bring the field up for Stokes, knowing that when he's in that mood, the rate of scoring could really too quickly go beyond your control. There'd be no reining it back.
Well, it's always that fact. If you keep the field up to someone like Stokes, you're going to get probably pierced twice and over to the boundary. If you spread the field to someone like Stokes, he's got the ability to still hit the boundary and rotate the strike. So unfortunately, when you get yourself in a position like this as a team, it's almost impossible to keep someone like Ben Stokes quiet. The only way is to get him out. Just hope he hits one in the air, he makes a mistake. And when a new player comes out there, it can be a period of a few hours where you can start to squeeze a little bit more. But you think the licence from the dressing room will be for all the players to get on with it and take a few risks, because England 1-0 down in the series, they've got to make all the footings in this match. They've got to make all the plays. They've got to be positive from here on in. And that's what allows you to do that. It is the way that England have played. They really have played the percentages and the basics really nicely to give themselves a position of now going, okay, we've done the hard, we've almost banked the draw minimum. Now we can just go for it and make sure that we get the win.
Yeah, putting it beyond the West Indies from here, isn't it, with the situation that they find themselves in.
Ben Stokes' 150 came from 301 balls, just 46 balls to go from 103 to 151. His first 50 to come off 119, the next 50 off 136, so a significant acceleration. I've got some bouncer stats for you, Michael.
Yes. Oh, there you go. New over then after the drinks break, and here is Stokes facing up to Chase. Shouts him nose, he knocks it into the onside.
Just looking at this series so far, according to the CricViz data, balls they define as bouncers from West Indian pace bowlers, just 2.3% in this innings, compared with Southampton.
As Chase is in around the wicket to the left-handed, Stokes going back, and he shaped to cut, and he's actually got away to the long off boundary where it's swept up inside the rope, and Stokes comes jogging back for the languid second.
In Southampton, in the first innings of the series, they bowled 4.1% bouncers. In the second innings, 8.8% bouncers. So well done on that. I'll get some longer-term comparisons for you as well.
And I reckon on those stats, the bouncer that they're probably logging are probably balls that are around chest high.
Yeah, they're not the sort of bouncers that have a batsman on his toes.
Or ducking.
Or ducking. Chase, shaven-headed, bowls around the wicket down the leg side into the gloves of the keeper.
So 126 over, 2% of the ball bowled. 10%. I'm going to work this out.
I'll leave
That's
it for a
only
moment,
pace bowlers as well, so you've got to discount them.
Ah, right. Roston's bowled a few overs, hasn't he?
Chase in now, Stokes in to go down the ground. He hasn't quite timed off the inside half of the bat. Towards long on, where Shamar Brooks is fielding, where he comes back in.
I've known Neil Spinner to bowl the odd bouncer. I'm a Shane Warne bowling the odd bouncer. He got really angry.
Have you faced a bouncer from the spinner?
Yeah. Of course. In carry cricket, you'd get them that every now and again from the odd angry. I think Tuffers would have bowled a few bouncers in his time when he got a bit angry.
Angry Tuffers. I wonder whether part of it, well, the pace of the pitch, but a bit of bowler fatigue as well from the West Indies quicks. There is some turn. Sibley coming forward and bat and pad together. Turn off the pitch quite sharp as well.
Yeah, that's lovely because it's bounce, exactly what a spinner wants.
Here is Chase again. You feel like he's the best chance for West Indies wicket. Oh, use of the feet by Sibley, and in the air. Oh, there is a chance here. Man in the deep. Who takes the catch and tumbles as he does so? And it is the end of Dominic Sibley. So he tried to move through the gears. The first time I've really seen him use his feet, came dancing down, but lofted a catch out to Roach in the deep. And finally this partnership is broken.
Yeah, you could see what he's trying to do. He's trying to punt it into that kind of straight mid-wicket region. He wasn't trying to give it the full swing to hit it into the stands. I think he was just trying to place it into that straight mid-wicket region. He got it just a little bit too soon, and it went straight up in the air. I think he would have committed to it and tried to really launch it into the stands. He might have got away with that, but a tremendous innings. Played just his way. It's his method of getting over to that off stump, working it on the onside, leaving well, just hanging in there, playing nice and straight. That's exactly how Dom Sidley plays, and it's how England required him to play. So tremendous innings comes to an end. Ollie Pope, how long has he had his pads on? I mean, a day.
So over 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't sleep in them, but well, he might have done, you never know. But
81 for 3, wasn't it, when those two came together?
bit of pad rash.
The 32nd over of the innings. But what was the length of time there for Sibley's innings? His 100 came up after that was something like 7.5 hours.
I don't have time currently. I'll just dig that out for you. It's 372 balls, 5 fours. The partnership 260 and 94.4 overs.
I feel that lockdown bio-bubble cricket, and I think we've probably worked you a bit too hard. I think we asked you too many questions because there's nothing to describe in terms of the crowd. We don't have a barmy arm. We don't have someone with a trumpet singing or some kind of beer snakes being created. We're using you.
That's all right. I'm paid per stat, I think. Just,
yeah, it's just getting the confirmation. Right.
It's $2,000 a stat, isn't it? Is that right?
Yes.
It's a new over. I'm tempted to ask you another question just to buffer as Aggers plugs in. But we've got Michael then. New phase of the game because Ollie Pope comes out with this massive platform now, so it could be a little bit of fun for the next half an hour. Here's Aggers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ollie Pope's still got to give himself a little chance. He's a young player. He didn't get any runs in Southampton, played so well in South Africa. He's just got to give himself a few balls to get in.
Gabriel for now from the far end bowls, and it's pushed away down to Gully. And Pope's first ball is securely played at least. Must have been awful waiting for so long to come in. But anyway, he's got his chance now. The sun's shining. He's got Stokes playing some amazing shots at the other end. And so Pope can just take a few moments to get himself in. Well played, Sibley. He has created the platform here, and Stokes is now obviously taking it on. 155 to Stokes from 306 balls. Now Pope's ready for his second ball. There's 2 slips. Gully's quite fine. Gabriel comes hurtling in and bowls the right-handed. Pope has hit that with a bit of bottom hand away into the leg side there. That's quite an ambitious shot, actually, for someone who's just come in to his second ball.
I think he's been sent out in third gear.
Really was a bit of bottom hand in there, wasn't there? It wasn't a half volley. Sibley, I was watching the replay there. It really was the first sort of aggressive shot they'd played.
Yeah, just again on England's team this week and the way that the pitch is playing. We're talking Dom Best, but also Joe Root, the off spinner.
Yeah,
he'll come into the game.
Now what's Stokes going to do here? There's a slip and a gully, long on and long off, deep square leg, deep point. Gabriel's going to go around the wicket at him. Hold was quite wide there at slip. Flags fluttering above. Gabriel on his way now, thundering in bowls way outside the off stump. So I think umpire Gough has been quite generous to Gabriel today. There's been a lot of balls that are seriously wide.
Nearly a Harmison, wasn't it?
No, there's only one Harmison
over the wicket.
That's the one that goes over the wicket and goes straight to second slip. Those rare treats, and we've seen a couple of them in this game. 342 for 4. Gabriel turns in the distance. There's still 53 overs to go today. Becomes again barrel-chested, very strong man. Hurls this down outside the off stump. Stokes very calm, as raises the bat, and then goes about raking at the crease with his right boot. Mr. Gough's coming down and having a look at where Gabriel's following through. There's already been a warning for Joseph today. official there, but that's
That's the last thing that the West Indies right-handers need to see.
yeah, absolutely.
And Gabriel creating a nice little omelette for Dom Best to aim into.
Stokes is ready. So too is Gabriel. Rows of empty grey seats behind him. Oh, he's lost his run up there, the big fella. So he's going to go. What's he done? He's got something in his eye, I think. He's bending over. The umpire's coming over for a look, and he was literally starting off into his run. And yep, he's got something in his left eye. Fly or something went straight in by the look of it. In fact, the replays now are so ridiculously good that immediately on my screen,
A little jab, wasn't
I
it?
see a fly hanging to it's actually his right eye. That is how the focus of that and the quality of the picture. It's amazing. Actually saw the fly.
Just went to have a look, didn't he? And just kind of just jabbed him in
That's
that right
amazing.
eye.
Gabriel bowls outside the off stump. And, Stokes allows that to go by. I mean, the cameras, let's be honest, they're down here on the boundary. And the quality is that you can actually see the fly going into his eye.
So I like the cameraman in front of us here. He had the same flip-flops on yesterday. Fashioned, you could say a German look with the socks and the flip-flops.
Yeah, well, they usually have to have very soft soled shoes, don't they? Because if they move, the cameras can shake. 3:42 for 4. Gabriel roaring in round the wicket, bowls to Stokes, short and wide of the off stump. He chops that away out towards deep point. I'll just take the one run there, which means that Stokes will remain on strike, which is how England would like it. 156 not out for him. And Ollie Pope just come in. He's on 1 not out. Dom Sibley out for 120 from 372 balls. 5 boundaries in that innings. I saw Buttler and Wokes and Curran, Best, Broad to come. So batsmen there who can get on with it too, which is what England really want in this situation. Strange game, isn't it? You spend an entire day batting patiently and slowly and disciplined, and then suddenly the next day you've got to get out there and completely change.
Well, the way that England play now in Test cricket, they try and give themselves that kind of bit of credit in the bank. You know, I much prefer to see them play this way than the old flamboyant way, which was very inconsistent, and it also allowed the opposition into the game. They played in a similar fashion in Southampton, where they just made so many mistakes. Whereas here they've got the discipline side of the batting absolutely spot on.
Chase continues round the wicket, bowling his off spin, and Stokes smothers this. Dowrich appears from behind the stumps and looks for someone to throw it to. Finds mid wicket, and there's no run. 3:43 for 4. City of Manchester looking quite quiet over to our right there. Lots of cranes, but none of them moving by the look of it at the moment. Chase balls, and Stokes forward, pushes that firmly out to cover. And there's no run. Low cloud hanging around over the city. Thankfully today,
I think Andy's got us another
no
stat.
rainfall. Has he? He's looking very pleased with himself. Chase bowls, and Stokes is is actually almost identical to how Rory Burns got out at the GS Bowl. He's looking to click one away off the back foot through the offside. It was in the air, lots of cries of catch it, but the man was back.
More on West Indies' lack of bouncers in this innings. The CricViz ball tracking data goes back to 2007, and this is the second lowest proportion of balls defined in their system as bouncers that the West Indies seamers have bowled in a test inning since then. There's 176 innings in this sample, and the only other time they bowled fewer bouncers was the 4th innings at Lords in 2017, which was a low scoring game where the ball was swinging around in a small 4th innings chase. So yeah,
Don't tell Carlos. Carlos has just about combusted.
Has he?
In our little room down there? Yes, furious.
Well, it's remarkable.
It is.
They've not tested out the middle of the pitch a few times.
Now we've got Chase bowling and Pope is forward. 2 men catching there on the leg side. It rolls out to
When you
short
bowl it
mid-wicket.
on any surface, even a slow, you can get a bouncer up there. It's
Yeah.
a bit more effort, and you can't do it as often.
Chase again, tosses it up outside the off stump, and Pope drives, got it through cover. That's a big gap there for him. Fielder in pursuit. It's there now, and throws it back in. It's Shea Hope. Well, the point of what we're talking about, I think, it's not even so much the bouncer theory, but it's just taking the batsman away from where he's feeling very settled at the moment, isn't it? Just doing something different. And the bouncer way is the one obvious way of doing that. Hope again, forward. It's picked up at forward short leg to end the over. It's just drag him somewhere else and just try him out. But, you haven't got the figures for the 1980s. I don't suppose they're less than 95% bouncers.
Yeah, it's about that, I guess.
It felt like it. Now, T, I'm speaking of an old adversary of mine. I have such admiration for Andy Moles. Do you remember Mola?
Yeah.
He's today completed a 10-kilometre walk to help raise money for the PCA Professional Cricketers Trust. Doesn't sound a lot, but Andy recently had part of his leg amputated. So we're going to talk to him. He was such a determined opening batsman, Andy. Brummy accent. Might have changed a bit now because he's living in South Africa. We'll see. But he always had a bit of a chirpy word back. And, well, wish him well. We're going to talk to him at tea time anyway. He's been through a lot recently. Here comes Gabriel. Bowls out wide outside the off stump. And Stokes watches it go flying through to the keeper.
He was a part of that Warwickshire side of the 90s that won so many trophies.
He was
He
indeed.
used to use county bats, I remember. He was very strong on his hips.
Yeah. He was short. Played the pull shot. But he'd always just chatter back at you a bit. He was one of those. I'd always loved playing against Andy Moles.
He used to always take a bit of stick from the likes of him, Dominic Osler.
Yes.
He had Alan Donald in the team, charging in.
He did.
Couldn't really chirp back.
No. 3:46 for 4. Gabriel moves in, bowls round the wicket. That's Stokes again.
Great side,
That
actually.
today.
Yeah, through that Warwickshire side of the 90s.
Dermot Reeve.
Dermot Reeve, you had Gladstone Small, Tim Munton, Keith Piper.
Lara, of course.
Yeah, Neil Smith, Paul Smith, Dougie Bear, Dougie Brown.
Paul Smith, he was fun. Was called him the surfer because he had sort of long bleached hair, didn't he? And he would come on and bowl a spell. I mean, he's predominantly a batsman, but he could bowl quick.
He had that like stutter of a runner.
Yeah, he just slung it down, and he often bowls for 4 overs, no maidens, 1 for 30.
Yeah.
All sorts would be in there, but he'd often get a wicket. Gabriel bowls outside the off stump, and Stokes does go for this. And taken by the keeper. Well, of course, Adam, our producer's a huge
bear,
fan,
isn't he?
And he's thrown Asif Din at me.
Asif Din.
Good old Gunga.
They used to sing that you ain't seen nothing like the Asif Din, didn't they? the corner stand, whatever the corner stand is in the far end of Edgbaston.
Wonder where those people are now. Where is old Gunga, I wonder? It's always difficult to get out.
I tell you what, there'll be a few county members very excited that we'll be trialling the county game for pilots in terms of having people back watching live sport.
Gabriel moves in and he's dropped. Stokes there trying to run the ball to third man. The angle from Gabriel, he got a little bit cramped, and Hope got plenty of hand on that in the gully, but another chance goes down, and oh dear me, that could be expensive, because Stokes now with full licence and so set. It was to his left, he had to dive, but it was a catchable height. I think he'll feel, certainly the bowler will feel that he should have caught that.
Just got a bit tight on him because it was around the wicket, angled in. He tried to glide it, shortish ball, into that vacant space at third man. It got too tight. He couldn't kind of get his hands freed up to play the stroke. Yeah, Shea Hope, I mean, it fancied to catch that. It was a good height for him, wasn't it?
Yep. 3:47 for 4. That brings Pope down on strike. With some chuntering among his West Indies bowlers, I think. They've toiled away. Roach has had no luck at all. Gabriel's now had 2 catches. Dropped up he comes and bowls to Pope, who drives into the offside, beats the field there at point, chases after it. And will they get 3? Well, it's the last ball of the over. Stokes is saying, yeah, I'm coming. So that means that this is one more to go. But, so Stokes will be on strike down here. 158 not out.
These players now just trying to look at Ben Stokes. He's got one of those systems on his back that monitors how much running he's done. Because it's an innings that hasn't had a huge amount of boundaries. I'd love to know the kilometres that he's put into his legs.
That's 6 he hit. Holder. It was just one of the most remarkable shots I think I've ever seen. And his face afterwards just showed that he actually he didn't think it would go for 6 either. He wasn't trying to hit it for 6. Gabriel comes in, bowls to him, and he was going to leave that. And then ball runs down to Gully. And it's fielded by Hope, who looks at the ball and goes, oh, wish I'd caught that one.
Well, I reckon where that 6 went for 6, it's probably the biggest part of the ground.
Yeah.
It's a big corner that he kind of check drove. Just a length ball, wasn't it? On and around leg stump. I think he was just trying to check it over mid-wicket. It came straight out of the middle of the bat, went for 6.
Incredible. You can imagine what a certain individual will be saying in Yorkshire about that and big bats.
What are you on about?
Who do you think?
You never mention bats.
Jeffrey.
Imagine he'd be sat in his garden or he'd be on a golf course somewhere, practicing his putting or chipping.
Yeah. Now what's Chase going to do here? Still a couple of men catching in the leg side and a short mid wicket. And in he goes over the wicket and Pope's down the pitch, has clipped that away into the onside, tumbling save, but they can still get a single there as that just bounces out of the fielder's hand. One more. Pope is immediately looking very busy. 351 for 4. So still a lot of play left today. There's still 50 overs to go, so if England were looking at bowling at 12 or 15, there's still a lot of batting to go at Tuffers.
Afternoon, John.
Yeah, nice to see him.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get the spinner to have a little bowl tonight.
Chase round the wicket and Stokes comes down. He saw him coming there, fired it in, and Stokes had to adjust quickly.
Oh, he's played that really well.
Yeah.
Nowhere near it, as you said. Saw him coming and it turned and bounced a bit and he's managed to sort of get across to the offside and just smother it. No, I'd like to see... Yeah, so I'm thinking an hour, John.
Oh,
yeah.
15 overs?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can go through your seamers and then have a couple of the spinners.
Chase. Forced off the back foot by Stokes. You wonder what England's sort of formulating in their mind about how they're best to win this game. Whether it is to go really big and then try and the West Indies follow on, as it were.
Yes.
Or whether it's more of a 4 innings game. Chase bowls and it's short and hammered away off the back foot. The cry of catch it, but there's no one near that one. And it's fielded down to our right here. Another one to England. 352 for 4.
You're thinking little 500, 550.
Well, that's an option, isn't it?
What, and pull out just before lunch tomorrow or something?
Well, it's an option.
It is an option.
Yeah.
Really, just to absolutely.
Yeah, because if the ball is spinning.
Yes, it is, and it is spinning, John. I've been watching it, and it's from the posh stuff as well, not just from footholes.
No.
Or sort of from wide. It is spinning. So Don Bess would be sitting in that dressing room like a meerkat.
Well, it's definitely another option, isn't it?
I think actually, if anything.
Here goes Chase. Bowls.
It's close.
Before wicket, he's out.
Oh, he's just missed it.
He's just missed a ball that trapped him in front, and it did turn again. But Pope has been dispatched. He's talking to Ben Stokes about whether or not he should review this or not. The finger went up quite quickly. 4 seconds to go. Is he going to review it or not? They've got plenty left.
Yeah.
Still got 2 reviews, but no, he's not going to. And Pope is walking off disappointed.
If it's turned, that might have gone down leg side, or did it skid on? Let's have a little look. Oh, it's a genuine off spinner. Oh, and it just did skid on. Ooh, that's dead. He's trapped it between his knees.
It did keep very low. It's scuttled, scuttled through.
It did.
And got stuck between his legs. And Pope is out. But again, that's a sign of what's going on out there.
That's right.
Pope out for 7.
I think you might be onto something there, Raggers.
It's only a guess.
No, but I think you might be onto something about going really big. You know, go really big and get like what the follow on be 400 or something.
Yeah. I mean, you are committing yourself. Aren't you
you are
to doing that.
Yeah.
There's no
But
There's no alternative.
no, but you've got the bowling attack that isn't going to tire necessarily, are you? You know, Sam Curran can keep scuttling in and getting some invariable bounce and a bit of swing. We have seen it swing. You've got Wokes and Stokes who can bowl long spells, and then Don Bess as well. So more through a bit of luck than judgment. England might, and Stuart Broad, of course. I haven't forgotten Stuart. You know,
well, they've got Root as well. They've actually got 2 spinners.
That's it. So, so you've got like 6 pretty good sort of bowlers there, just that might work on this pitch. If you know what I'm saying, they might have fallen on it a bit.
Getting excited?
Well, no, I am indeed. I like it when it spins.
Well,
I get excited.
This is halfway through the second day.
Yes.
And it's turning like that.
Yeah, and scuttling, and the odd one bouncing, and the odd one sort of stopping in the pitch. So, Don Bess, he'll be licking his lips in that dressing room.
4 wickets for Austin Chase for 92 runs. This is only the 4th time a West Indian spinner has taken 4 in an innings in England since 1966.
Well, they never got on.
Lance Gibbs.
Lance Gibbs must be, yes.
Had 3 fifers in that series, and the West Indies won 3-1. Roger Harper had 6 for 57 on this ground and 84. Chris Gale 5 for 34 at Edgbaston in 2004, and Chase himself 4 for 113 in England's massive score in that day-night test in Edgbaston 3 years ago.
Joss Butler's the new batsman, and Chase moves in and bowls to him. He allows that to spin away. That one bounced and was not taken cleanly by the keeper Dowrich. So England are 5 down, but they've got 352 runs on the board. There's just over half an hour to go till tea, and Andy Moles, to take us in that direction, is Simon Mann.
Yeah, bit of spin. England won't mind that. So what a fantastic knock this has been by Ben Stokes. Just looks to get better and better every time I see him. And that's saying something, considering that Headingley knock. But looks in the peak of his powers at the moment with the willow in hand. I don't know what England might do. As you say, they've definitely decided to put the toe down, but are they going to think tonight, or will they carry on? That's a good shot. Simon, you're a very, very good judge.
Well, just get as many as you can today, as many as you can. It's not going to be easy for West Indies when it's their turn to bat.
When you've got a team on the ropes.
Here's Gabriel going into Boulder Stokes, who cuts that towards deep point, fielded by subfielder Nkrumah Bonner. One more to Stokes. He's on 160. 353 for 5.
You've got to think of what the oppo would least like, and if you clap your hands at 450, they'll go, yes, we're coming off, and we can have a bat. You know what I mean? But if you know, because the field is spread, there's 1s and 2s everywhere, and you know we've got some great batting to come. I quite like John's idea. He's a sly old fox, isn't he?
What was his idea?
Well, his idea was keep going. Keep going to tomorrow.
Well, that's what Hansi Cronje did here in 1997?
98.
Where South Africa batted into the 3rd day and scored very slowly, made over 500, and of course were 1 wicket away from winning at the end of the game. Here's Gabriel, bowls full and clipped away nicely by Butler towards mid-on, and there's no run. Positive stroke right out to the middle of the bat, but picked out the fielder. So there's that game where they did bat on, and the pitch was, well, it was hard work for everybody, and they just couldn't quite get through. I think it was an LBW shot in the last over, possibly against
Angus Fraser. That's right, and it was completely out. It was hitting middle of middle.
The old technology might have sent him on his way these days.
It might have done. He was so busy getting back and across that he forgot to get his bat down, but he did well to get back and across. I think my middle pole would have been rocketed into Boucher.
353 for 5. Gabriel bowls, Butler defends a ball fractionally outside the off stump, rolls up to mid-on again. Well, and then you talk about batting on and making hay. I always go, mine always goes back to Adelaide. You know that match when England lost when they made 500 in the first innings? They declared about 550.
They did.
And I remember watching that at the time thinking, no, just keep going. When there are 50 runs on offer here in about 20 minutes. Australia were on their knees. And the ball was disappearing everywhere. And I know why England wanted to bowl that night.
I know.
But actually I thought there seemed to be so many cheap runs on offer. Just keep going and really ramp it up.
No, I'm slightly.
It's a strange thing to say when you've got 550 on the board. But it was a very strong Australian batting line on a good pitch.
And it just
was outside the off stump. Butler tempted to play at that one, goes past the edge through to Dowrich.
And you then have and the spinner then comes into it, you see, because you are so far behind. You know, there is no chance you're winning. As a batting side, you are just going out there to defend. and to try and build an innings. But then on a pitch that then had another afternoon on it and another morning on it, the spinner so comes into the game then, because you can keep men round the bat, and you always find that when you're defending, perhaps they come into play, and then you've got one out, and then the one time you want to come down a wicket, you slog it straight down his neck. So the spinner comes into it a lot more.
Gabriel to Butler. Butler lets that go outside the off stump. Dive straight ball from Shannon Gabriel. No movement there at all.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a goal in life, isn't it? And when you have no goal in life, you just sort of aimlessly what's it called when you're in the water?
Treading water.
Treading water, just waiting for a shark.
Well, if you're an ultra pessimist.
Yes, well, there you go. So if you take that goal
Depends
away...
where you're treading water.
Well,
if you're in the North Sea...
Hey, basking shark in the North Sea.
Are they dangerous?
Yeah, well, no, they're very big, but they might sort of swallow you and not realise. Plankton eater.
3-5-3 for 5. Butler yet to score. Gabriel bowls to him. He's struck on the patch out for LBW. Umpire Gough. Not out. And Holder steps forward. West Indies have one review left.
Might be just slipping
What they're going
down.
to do. 10 seconds, 9.
Gabriel.
Yeah, he's gone a bit early this time. He's got 8 seconds to go.
TV umpire to director. We have a player review for LBW. The original decision is not out.
It does sometimes get in a bad position, doesn't he? Josh Butler early on in his innings just plays across that front pad or leaves that gap between bat and pad. Oh no, it's no ball. No, it's not.
Okay, can you just rock and roll that front foot, please?
Millimetres.
Very close.
Any chance you could zoom in on that, please?
No, I think that you've got to give that to the bowler.
Okay. Do you have anything from the other side?
Got to give that to the bowler, surely.
There might be a fraction of his foot behind the line.
Or is there?
It's very tight, though.
It is tight. Oh, he won't be happy.
Umpire Kettleborough wants a different angle. We're not seeing a different angle. No, here we go. Here's another one.
The bat's in the
Please,
way.
just keep it rolling through, please.
Bat's in the way. No, that's a good.
Okay, thank you.
Fair delivery.
Just let's go back one more shot from the other side, please.
That's a fair delivery, isn't it?
Okay, fair delivery. Fair delivery. If we can move on to front on spin vision, please.
Very tight.
Let's have a look. Is it going down?
Just keep it rolling through. I'm going to need to see ultra edge when available, please.
That might be umpire's call.
Yeah, there's that feel about it, doesn't it?
Thank you. Keep it rolling through. Flat lines, it goes past the bat. No bat involved. We'll go to ball tracking when ready, please.
Here we go.
Ball tracking coming up now, Michael. Pitching outside off, impacting line and missing the wickets. So we're going to go back to Michael on field. You can save your original decision. You're on camera now.
He's had a pretty good. He's had a pretty good game, hasn't he, Michael Gough?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got
So that was the last review for West Indies. They're all gone now.
Bye.
Yeah. It was going down the leg side. It was missing. Nipped back a bit. And the one actually the Pope was given out to, it was right back in. It was umpire. It was shaving leg stump, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, if you're right back and it did turn, usually those ones are the arm ball, which you kind of missed, but it wasn't. It was a spinner that you missed, and so it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
But it just looked good, didn't it? I mean, it looked both shoulders facing the umpire, both pads. It's like French cricket, and you miss it. It looks good, doesn't it?
I was saying yesterday about you see things in cricket you've never seen before, like the near run out off what would have been a dead ball, or was a dead ball.
Yeah. Yes, it always throws about, doesn't it?
And
it never ceases to amaze me.
Here's Chase bowling, and Stokes plays defensively into the offside. I've never seen a batsman, LBW, where they caught the ball between their legs before.
No,
trapped the ball between their legs, as he did for a moment.
Alex Stewart caught Ian Healy between his knees at the Oval, off of me.
Yeah, took a catch.
Yes.
But this one, he actually, as he was LBW, he trapped the ball between his legs.
I don't think I have.
Have you ever seen that?
No, I don't think I have. It's a good effort.
Chase bowls to Stokes.
Oh, there it is.
Beauty
Come
from
on.
Chase, past the outside edge of Stokes' bat. This is a bloke who's 160 not out.
Turn and bounce from the posh stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a beauty. That is a beauty. Drifting in, pitching off stump, and as you say, going past glove height, perhaps, from a forward defensive.
Chase bowls. That's forced away by Stokes. Nice looking shot, but hit it straight at extra cover.
And you'd probably say, Simon, that Roston Chase, not being unkind here, but, perhaps a roller and not a real fizzer.
Yeah.
I think Cornwall's got to play in the next one.
Well, also the other thing is where you look at England's attack, if they pick the wrong attack, they need an extra spinner. Here's Chase bowling, and Stokes opens the face, runs it into the offside for one.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Blackwood's after it from extra cover. They got route to bowl, of
Yes,
course.
yes. It'd be nice to have another. Well, this is where did you think this one up? You did come up with some nice ideas. I think in the last innings you should be able to swap your bowler.
Well, the old super sub.
Super sub bowler. Yeah, why not? Come on, we're always looking for things with Test match cricket just to, get down with the kids.
Well, they tried that super sub in one-day internationals. It didn't really work, did it?
It'd be beautiful, wouldn't it, for you? I mean,
I think you were trying it in T20. I was suggesting the IPL was going to have a substitute, so you get to the last 3 overs of the game and, you send in your power hitter brought on. Butler turns that into the hands on the bounce of short leg.
Sorry,
there's no run.
I might have I've come over all a bit queer there. Sorry, I don't know what I've just said. Sorry. It's just all this excitement about
the ball spinning.
Being told off by Zolt's behind me there.
Right. That one turns and Butler gets that past leg slip for his first run. It wasn't right off the middle of the bat. And it was in the air for a while.
Sorry, I'm getting totally excited here, Simon. And that is where England, when you have those runs on the board, you just leave a man there at that leg slip, for the whole game, because even if you're bowling slightly short of a length, you just can't help but go back. And it's on you. It just bounces and turns at you. Even if you get a good middle of the bat, you can be just gliding it into his hands a bit like Crawley. So I've slightly decided to go, let's go big. Let's go big.
So just keep batting.
Yes. Yeah. Perhaps, while the field is spread. What is it? I mean, if you're a boxer, and you've got someone on the ropes, you know what I mean, and he's not fighting back, he hasn't got much left, and you're just body blowing and body blowing and body blowing. You're not going to, before the round's up, you're not going to go, oh, go on, go back and have a rest, You're going to go, no, I'm going to keep you going. A little boxing analogy now.
To do that in karate, Simon. No mercy.
I haven't done enough karate yet to tell you whether I would do it or not. Here's Gabriel bowling outside the off stump. No, Butler drives. He gets at least one towards wide mid-off. It's only going to be one, actually. He sends Stokes back. It was a nice-looking shot, and some of the pace was taken off it in the cover region.
Because I guarantee you, the West Indies, when they come out after tea, will be having one little look at the balcony, and then there'll be the buzz going round. Have they got the whites on? Have they got the whites on? And when you just see everyone walking around still in shorts, you go, no, really? They're going to keep us out here? It does just erode you, where you're thinking the game is going.
Yeah, England have got, still 47 overs available to them.
Amazing.
So still, what are we, 25 minutes from tea, and we're still over half a day's cricket left, really.
How does that happen sometimes?
Something to do with the over rate. Gabriel bowls outside the off stump. There's no straight from Stokes. And it's through to Dowrich. So still a big chunk of cricket left today. England will be hoping the light doesn't close in. It's a bit murky at the moment, but there's some patches of blue sky above, but generally it's cloud.
Surely the batsman can... No, I think can't.
No, you can't.
I know, but surely that needs to be changed as well.
Well, there's other things as well. If you... yesterday, West Indies brought on their spinners, so they wanted to stay out there. But of course, if they want to get off for light, they bowl the quick bowlers, and you don't get a say as a batting side.
Well, there you go, which is strange because the light is meant to be there for you as a batting side. So you should surely have the choice, not the fielding side.
Yeah, it's solely up to the umpires these days. And they took a reading yesterday.
Yes.
Gabriel bowls wide of Stokes' off stump, and there's no straight. Did we actually go off for bad light in the end? No, we were going to, weren't we? And then they brought the spinners on. So if they didn't go off for bad light, does the reading they took
Precedent. Does
it set a precedent?
It's not a precedent. It's a precedent, isn't it?
They didn't actually go off.
Did you spell it the same?
They're very skittish stuff.
I know a little bit, but I've seen it turn.
I know.
I'm
very excited.
Well, I can, because it's been a bit of a grind for 2 days, hasn't it? But I can see something. This game just starting to take shape in front of me.
You can see some blue sky above.
Yes. So sorry, I'm cold.
356 for 5. Gabriel round the wicket to bowl to Stokes. Stokes in behind that, playing defensively.
And
there's no run.
Just seen a slight tempo change as well to Ben Stokes. So perhaps Joss Butler's come out and had a little word with him about that as well.
Yeah, because he was going for everything, wasn't he, a while back? And now he's now he's playing defensively again.
Yeah.
The lights are flickering into action, despite the fact there's some patches of blue sky above. You can see some dark cloud away to our left-hand side coming over the ground. It's only one patch of dark cloud, so I don't think it's not going to cause too many problems for too long. And with the tea interval not that far away, they could go off for tea and then come back afterwards with the light improved. Gabriel to Stokes outside the off stump. Nothing from Stokes there. And it's through to Dowrich. So it might be in the instructions, yeah, just
C2T.
Yeah, keep sticking in there and take it long, get as many as we can. Forecast tomorrow, not particularly good. There's a possibility of some time being taken out of the game. But you'd feel as a bowling side, especially for a spinner, 4th, 5th day, this might be a good pitch to bowl on.
Rough. A few more rough patches. Sam Curran might come into the equation with his follow-through. All these little things, a variable bounce as well, and a little bit of bounce as well. That's what you need as the game progresses.
Gabriel bowls to Stokes, struck on the pad, very full. It's as though it was angling down the leg side, though it's not out from umpire Gough, and there are no reviews left. So nothing Jason Holder can do about that to overturn it.
Still trying hard, Gabriel. Still giving it all.
Let's have a look at the front on the replay to this. Where was it going? Well, it was very full. Looked as if it was going down. It might have been umpire's call on leg stump.
Yeah.
Well, the lights are in action now. And one of the umpires are getting a bit twitchy about the light. This is closed in, but as I said, I think it's only temporary.
Yeah, sort of over to our left, isn't it? Yeah, missing on the...
Missing, yeah, just down the leg side. Actually missing that leg stump. Out today, if you have just switched on, Sibley for 120, caught by Roach in the deep of Chase, looking to loft it into the onside. And Ollie Pope, LBW to Chase for 7, one that was umpire's call, right back in his stumps, trapping the ball between his pads. It's never easy actually for someone like Pope. I was mentioning this earlier.
No.
We watched a long partnership. Chase bowls, spinning into Butler. Butler does it firmly on the bounce towards short leg.
Quite a tall off spinner, isn't he, Roston Chase? Perhaps Bess, a bit more of a different traj, you know.
Yeah, there's a leg slip and a short leg in. Chase bowling to Butler. Butler plays that quietly towards mid wicket. And Bonner, the sub-fielder, picks up. No run. West Indies did have 2 sub-fielders on at one point. Hope was off the field. He's back. He's at mid-off. Chase bowls outside the off stump, and there's a freebie, which Butler hits for 4. Short and wide. Thank you very much. Very little cover on that offside. 7-2 onside field. And Butler said, great, I'll have that. Smacked it for 4 to cover boundary.
That one didn't turn. It was just short. It's that attacking length, but they give himself some room there. Plenty of space to get the arms through. Didn't it sound nice through the earphones? Got a good piece of that. Crack.
Butler moves to 6 and England to 360 for 5. Chase to Butler outside the off stump, and Butler pushes it away on the drive. A chase for Hope towards the extra cover boundary. Butler and Stokes saunter back for 2 runs. That one was a bit too full from Chase, so Butler was able to ease it away.
And let's not forget that Josh Butler's under a bit of pressure,
definitely.
Isn't he? Yeah, he won't want to be just slogging one up in the air, you know. Hold on a minute, give me a chance to get a few.
Butler's 8 not out now. Chase bowls to him. That's down the leg side. And
that's that delivery, you see.
It goes off the wicket-keeper's pad to leg slip, where it's claimed by Holder.
That's how Crawley was out, wasn't it? I mean, it's not a great delivery, but it's straight. It's always spinning down the leg side, and sometimes the bat just seems drawn to it.
If you catch up with it as a batsman, you get in trouble.
Yeah.
Chase bowls to Butler. He's back again. It's gone off the thigh pad this time to the left of Holder. And this is only afternoon on the second day.
That's hit him high up on the hip from just short of a leg, that pace as well. It's not one of those ones where you sort of, as you say, can catch up with it very well. You know, that's actually fizzed and bounced. Look, boink.
Hit him on the pocket, actually. Hit him quite high up.
Oh, look at that, there you go. Picture of Don Best. Picture of Don Best and Joe Root looking at the replay. Just saw Don Best go, oh. Yeah, just got to keep you cool now, young man. Let it happen for you a bit. Don't have a sleepless night thinking of fifers.
362 for 5.
I wouldn't mind having a bowl on this.
The news from the West Indies camp, Alzari Joseph, a bit of pain in his tricep tendon. He's going to return after tea. That's why Bonner is on the field.
You had a tendon on your tricep. Well, it's a muscle on your tricep.
Gabriel, quite dark now, bowls to Stokes. Stokes plays defensively into the onside. And there is no run. You can see the shadows cast by the players.
Having said that, I haven't even got a tricep. Struggle to find my tricep, let alone my tricep tendon. Now you're looking very fit.
Where is it? There, is it?
Well, there's your tricep, not bicep, tricep.
Bicep, yeah.
But then, I don't know, tendon. I was quite good at anatomy, having been on the physio's bed quite a lot in my career. I kind of picked up a few
Did you
things.
hide on the physio's bed, or did you have a good reason to be there? Did you have a note?
It was just comfy. It was just comfy. You know, they're designed for a bit of comfort, aren't they?
Stokes 161, faces Gabriel outside the off stump. Stokes lets it go.
Hiding it a little bit, Gabriel, and Stokes not prepared to give his wicket away.
And the other thing as well, I mean, you look at the field, there are lots of
Well,
singles on
there
offer.
you
You
go.
could almost tip and run, isn't it, really, for Stokes if he wanted to. There's
So
deep,
why come off?
deep back with square leg, there's a long on, long off, deep backward point, fine leg. So 5 men on the boundary, 2 saving a single only, and a slip and a gully.
And let's be fair, listen, 450 is still 100 away virtually.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, we were getting a bit excited there, weren't we?
Still 45 overs left in the day there after this one.
A bit excited.
Not sure we'll get them all. Gabriel to Stokes down the leg side, the inside edge onto the pad's gone down fine, chased around the boundary for Campbell. Stokes is coming back for a second run. I'm pretty sure this was off the bat as well as the pad. Have a look at umpire golf. Yep, there we go, no signal from him. And Stokes to 163. How many runs has he scored, say, in the last 40 minutes? And it was last time I came off commentary, he was smashing it everywhere.
Well, at the end of the 125th over, he'd reached his 150, had 152 from 302 balls. Since then, 11 from 32.
Yeah. Definite deceleration from Stokes. 364 for 5. That dark clouds passing over the ground. Once it's gone, I think we'll be okay for a bit. Gabriel charging in, bowls to Stokes, who edges this on the bounce to first slip. It's also a no ball. Called by umpire Goff.
Wow.
And, I don't know whether the holder is claiming that in frustration or whether it actually hurt him as it scuttled through low to his left-hand side. I think probably frustration more than anything. Gabriel finding the outside edge of Stokes' bat. And it bounced a fraction in front of him. Lovely claim actually by Holder, sweeping the ball up away to his left in 2 hands. But Gabriel overstepping. 365 for 5. That partnership between Sibley and Stokes was worth 260 for the 4th wicket. Gabriel to Stokes. Stokes drives up towards mid-off. There's the easy single I was talking about. With long on and long off back. Stokes moved to 164.
Was that the 4th highest or something here?
Looks behind me to Andy. Andy's the man for that.
I think I've heard somewhere in the back. So it was the 4th highest partnership.
Whatever.
No.
Or just for that wicket?
For that wicket, I think.
Field changes around for the right-handed Butler. And it comes in as well. 2 slips in the gully. 3 saving the single on the offside. 2 saving the single on the onside. Bonner down there at fine leg. Gabriel sets off. Bowls to Butler. It's a low full toss which he drills straight to mid-off. Missed out there. Another gift on offer. Hit one gift for 4 in the previous over. Not there.
It's in fact the 2nd highest partnership on this ground. 260 in all the tests played here in Manchester. The highest, 267, Graham Thorpe, and Test match special legend Michael Vaughan.
Yes.
In the match here against Pakistan, which England ended up losing that game after a dramatic final day. Saqlain Mushtaq took a load of wickets on the last day. Michael Vaughan's maiden Test century. That was
when they lost 9 wickets after tea.
That's right.
Most of them to no balls.
No balls.
Yeah, Shat was the umpire and he was distraught afterwards.
Yeah, I remember that. Volney.
366 for 5. Gabriel bowls to Butler, who's up on his toes, playing defensively back up the offside of the pitch. That is the end of the over. Just under 15 minutes until tea. England are 366 for 5. It's time for Alison Mitchell.
Yeah, there certainly seems to have been some sort of message brought out by Jos Buttler. Stokes was absolutely motoring, wasn't he? He was really on the charge, and just seems to have gone back into his shell. Just perhaps will re-evaluate at tea. Oh dear, they've got that horrible machine out of their pockets again.
Not a fan of this light meter, Phil, are we?
No, I don't like it.
But it does feel as if, well, behind this grey cloud, it is much lighter.
Yeah.
Surely it's just a phase, a brief phase. And there was glorious evening sunshine at one point, just after close yesterday. Cloud fully cleared and sunlight over the ground, wasn't it, towards the end. But I've got the light meter out. Little red object with a little black gauge on the top. They often lay it on the top of the stumps, don't they, to measure exactly what it is in the middle of the point where the batsman is taking guard.
Is that designed especially for cricket? Or is it
I haven't really seen a light meter. I don't know. Is it sort of like, would a photographer use a light meter that looks like that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
perhaps. Don't know.
But it's a new over, and Stokes is on 164, and Chase has turned up himself 4 for 100, as going back is Stokes and playing it carefully back up the pitch. Floodlights on and just making it feel like it's it seems ironic, an oxymoron to say the floodlights are making it more gloomy, but when you notice the light of the floodlights creating shadows around the feet of the batsman, you know that the sky above is dark. Pounce that time off the pitch, a little bit of turn into the gloves of Dowrich. 366 for 5. Got just over 10 minutes to go until tea for these two to get through, so it doesn't feel as if there's going to be a big late sort of flourish up until tea, does it? It feels like it's get through to the break.
Well, we were thinking might look to go big.
Oh, here is Chase around the wickets. Little tickle down towards fine leg by Stokes.
Lovely.
And Jason Holder, running back from slip, won't get there. And 4 runs. Quite delicately played. Yeah. And against the turn as well. 366 for 5 becomes 370.
We were thinking, why not just keep going?
Have a bit of a, I say the word Yahoo, but
well, no, just
keep going as they are. Oh, all right. So, yeah.
End of play today.
Well, that's what it feels like we're doing with the tone at the moment, is it? Get to the break, keep going afterwards, not as if they're chasing quick runs to set something up.
You felt
today.
that about half an hour ago, didn't you? But then all of a sudden it might be just, hold on a minute, why don't we get to 600? Well, then just before lunch tomorrow.
Well, then you really have battered them out of the game, and you're saying we're backing ourselves to take 20 wickets back to back, and there's no chance of them getting close.
Not very fashionable now to do that.
Stokes facing up. Turn from Chase again into the gloves of Dowrich, and Stokes isn't tempted, leaves it alone.
Well, there you go. When was the last time we had a follow-on?
In England.
Ooh, well, I'll check that for you. Just, I've got a lot in my in tray at the moment.
Give the man a break. Chase in again around the wicket. Stokes forward defensively, smothering that delivery into the onside, and there's no run.
Just another quick note on the Sibley-Stokes partnership. 260, England's highest for any wicket since the Bairstow-Stokes 399 stand in South Africa, played at a rather different tempo to the one in this match.
That was the Stokes double 100, wasn't it, in Cape Town? Yeah.
What a knock that was.
Chase in now to Stokes, going back, looking to chop it away. Bottom edges it into the ground towards mid-off, and there's no run to end the over. So Stokes is on 168, and England 370 for 5-10 minutes to go until tea.
Having said that, though, you all come in at tea and go, what a good idea. You know, let's change tactic. Let's look to go to lunch, tomorrow, ban them outside the game, and then you all walk out after tea and lose 5 quick wickets after tea. And you go, oh, well, no, it's totally the plan.
Yes. Well, the plan was laid, but other things happened.
Yeah.
But well, that's what's got to keep the West Indies going, though, isn't it? I think, still, if we can get 1, get 2, they'll be into the tail. But, I mean, England's tail is suddenly a lot longer now, isn't it? When you look, that it's Woakes, Curran, Bess, and then Broad batting at 11.
Yeah, well, Stewart's had a bit of trouble, hasn't he?
But hasn't quite been the batsman of old. But
can slog you 30 or 40 very quickly.
I mean, Sam Curran at 9. Wonderful batsman when he gets going.
I bet he's got the best average of any number 9 in Test cricket. There you go.
Andy.
I keep filling up his in tray here.
Steam coming out of the ears and from the computer. I think it might short circuit.
I don't want to know. I bet he has.
Don't worry about any clarification. A bit more spin. I wonder if this is to do with the light. We've seen this in previous days, haven't we? Where Craig Brathwaite comes on for a little bit of a turn before an interval. So a bit of spin from both ends, it looks like, to take us up to the tea break. And it's Butler's on strike at the moment, but it's often been Brathwaite to Stokes that's been that it's that contest where you just watch Stokes going, oh, shall I get after him? Shall I get after the part-time spinner? And he's really reined himself in. But let's see what Butler does.
Oh,
He rather puts it there, doesn't he? Butler coming
strange
forward.
action, that is. Yeah.
And
Eric Bristow.
Brathwaite is in. Slow. He sort of places it almost. You can't really quite describe it as bowling. There's not much in the way of the whirl of the arms. And Brathwaite, with his long-sleeved jumper on, comes in again, and Butler just tickles it into the onside and goes through for a gentle one to turn over the strike. 371 for 5. Just worth mentioning, Craig Brathwaite has had his action tested in the past.
Yep.
And he has passed.
Oh, well, there you go. Jolly good.
Waiting now to have a chance to bowl at Stokes. Slip, backward point, extra cover, mid-wicket. And in he comes. The Stoke goes back and sort of batters it down towards mid-on, and then waits an age before thinking, oh, shall I bother taking a run to that? And I'll, almost as if to say, does that delivery deserve to be played?
Well, I don't even know whether it's a delivery. There you go. As you say, it's been passed, so it all must be well.
Well, I'll give you the detail, in fact. He goes back, covering up is Butler into the onside.
He's a part-timer anyway, I suppose.
Well, it was only September in last year. His action was reported for a second time. That was after the second test against India and Jamaica. He actually had to come to Loughborough, I think, to be tested. It's one of the accredited testing centres. Full at that time, tickled into the onside. That brings Stokes through from the other end for a single. So past. It's a 15 degree of extension, isn't it? So
yes.
The elbow is allowed a degree of bend.
And to be fair, his might not straighten. It might just be bent all the way. But obviously, if he's beat past, we move on.
Yeah, exactly. But it's 373 for 5. Doesn't take away from the fact that it is incredibly slow bowling. It's the most part-time of part-time spin that likely to see in a test team.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
So it's very innocuous looking. But how many test? Has he taken test wickets?
Yeah,
Brathwaite has, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He had a 6 for 29.
Did he?
Where? Wasn't against that.
Bangladesh.
Well, they had a recent test against Afghanistan, but I don't think that was
somewhere where
that
it
much.
turns.
Quite a few years ago now.
Yeah.
He's 18 test wickets, average 57, but 6 for 29 in one innings.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, he'll just focus on the 6 for 29.
Without a doubt.
It's a new over, though, at 373 for 5, and Chase is in, and here's Butler having a crash out towards deep mid-wicket. Along the ground, picked up, and a single taken, that was all, but yeah, it was intense. That was intense.
Short leg. Who's at short leg there? Absolutely threw himself down to the ground.
Evasive action,
Yeah.
evasive action.
You don't want to get a Joss Butler pull shot in the small of your back.
Field changes again for Stokes, the left-hander. Holder at slip. They've got a third man who is halfway, really, between the pitch and the boundary, turn and bounce into the hands of the keeper. Chase deserves 5 wickets here, doesn't he?
He's bowled well, you know. I mean, the pitch has been helping, but that is gone off, middle of stump, Ali. So, you know, that really isn't footholds or anything getting in the way of that, just dragging past the outside edge.
Chase again, once more padded away.
Close.
Now then, Chase is wheeling away. He's down on his haunches and he's now on his back on the ground. He cannot believe.
That's the arm ball. They've run out of reviews. That's the arm ball. That looked pretty good to me. Or was it just a non-spinner? It might have just held its line and been missing off stump, but that looked pretty close to me.
Chase really
That's
is.
the slider, is it? I'd been up for that. I reckon that's just missing off, but I wanted it.
Shouldering arms and not offering a stroke.
be the best decision of the day by the umpire.
Chasing again over the wicket, and Stokes bat and pad tight, close together this time. Defends, the ball runs off the outside edge into the ground and out towards point. We're getting another look here on the Hawkeye, so the impact's outside, but he's not offering a shot. Oh, missing off. So not doing enough to go on with the arm.
Yeah, I thought it was the arm ball, but it wasn't. It was just a non-big spinner. Good decision.
Even that, though, it's uncertainty, isn't it? For Stokes, he's facing one that's turning a lot, and this one off the back foot, forced out towards the deep cover boundary. Picking up one to move him on to 170 now, 375.
Especially with Richard Lillingworth being a next spin bowler. Oh, the big, come on, Lily. How many have you had like that? All changed now, of course, with DRS.
Well, that's it. Yeah. For all those spinners of yesteryear that missed out on the replays.
Especially on a fourfer as well. You know, you've had a long day, Roston. Yeah, go on then, there's your fifer. Well bowled, mate.
Short leg and leg slip again in for Buttler. Little tickle that just dropped short of Holder at leg slip. It's the end of another testing over from Chase. Still searching for his 5-wicket haul, 375 for 5, England. West Indies 2 wickets all day, long time until they took the 4th wicket, that of Dominic Sibley, to break that stand of 260 between he and Stokes. And Sibley, the first attacking stroke that we'd seen from him, that used his feet and looked to launch Roston Chase over deep mid-wicket, and he found Kemar Roach in the deep. Hold out for 120. But marvellous innings in terms of setting the game up for England, but the slowest of slow scoring Test hundreds. It's done a job.
Not paid to be pretty.
No, paid to get the runs on the board, play the platform.
Exactly.
And Ollie Pope, LBW for 7.
Yeah, he's coming in a couple of awkward situations, hasn't he, in these 2 tests.
Now Brathwaite again. So he's got Stokes on strike this time. See how he plays it. 2 men out to deep mid-wicket, and he's playing it carefully past the square leg umpire, jogging through for 1. Just rein those egos in against Brathwaite. Knock him about a little bit. Wait if there's a ball that you know you can hit. Buttler back on strike. A couple of cranes there beyond the Hilton Hotel, standing stock still. A little bit of movement from the flags above the pavilion, and Brathwaite is in. Puts it there again, Foolish to Buttler, who pats it into the onside. Picked up at mid-wicket, Brathwaite again. I think the fact he's bowling in long sleeve jumper also, this one is turned behind square, shout of no, because there's a man on the 45. It doesn't really give an air of the striving athlete. Searching and striving for wickets. In he goes. Buttler off the back foot, punching it down towards long on. Shannon Gabriel comes in off the boundary. An underarm throw from Gabriel in from the deep as well. Just has a little bit of air of club cricket about it at the moment with Brathwaite bowling.
Yeah, they've...
no disrespect to club cricket, but the way Brathwaite looks, in he goes. Around the wicket that was, and off the back foot, pushed away down to Gabriel once again.
Strange action. I mean, they're looking like the West Indies looking like a team who are looking for a declaration, you know.
I don't think it's going to come yet, though, is it? They haven't even got to 400.
No, that's right.
A lot more to come from England. Brathwaite in, defence from Buttler, back up the pitch, seeing him off, and that's will be T. Yes, bells removed. 378 for 5. So Stokes goes in on 172, Buttler on 12, and I think we will see the England plan unfold during the evening session in terms of the tempo of the batting, what sort of score they'll look to get. What are you expecting then, Tuffers in the post-tea session?
Yeah, I mean, it sort of went on a couple of tempos there, didn't it? It was after lunch, and they both got their hundreds, and they looked to kick on and play aggressively, and we were thinking, they might be having an hour or 40 minutes before tea, and then all of a sudden, before the end of play tonight, and then all of a sudden they just sort of slowed down again when Buttler then came to the crease. So there might be a little change of heart in that dressing room. Having looked at the pitch, it's not going to get any better. It's spinning, it's bouncing. So yeah, I mean, Don't know. We'll have to see.
We're up to some appreciation for Ben
Oh,
Stokes,
what a
who's
knock.
walking off the field now. He's got his helmet off. You can see the Alice band keeping that long hair back, which is a bit of the trend for the England batsmen at the moment. But let you guys a little bit about Stokes,
Yeah.
and then Aggers is coming in to talk you through the tea break.
Well, he can do no wrong at the moment, Ben Stokes. Just seems to be getting better and better with every innings, doesn't he? Just went in and grounded out with Sibley to get themselves into a position of strength, especially with that new ball straight after the beginning of play. If England have played a couple of rash shots there, they would have been in trouble. And then just has the ability just to flick a switch and play extravagant shots, use his feet, hit 4s and 6s, rotate the strike. He's just got everything under control at the minute, John.
He does, but there has been a definite change, I think,
Yes, I
wasn't
think
there?
so, yeah.
Because he accelerated, and now he's back to playing.
Have you got a bat phone to the England dressing room?
No.
No, but just as you said it, it all changed.
Yeah, I just think they might be going for a very big one, or is trying to.
Yeah.
But anyway, we shall see.
Jolly good.
Tava's going to have a cuppa. The ground staff doing their work out there, as well as rolling the next pitch, because of course they're back-to-back test matches, back-to-back on the same ground. So that's not easy at all for the ground staff to try and prepare that pitch with just 2 strips to the left, as we look at it, to the current test match strip. And you can probably hear the heavy roller chugging up and down on what is at the moment a very green pitch. I don't suppose it'll stay that way for the next test match.